evening, wrestling fans, and welcome to the Wrestle Talk Podcast. For the next 2 hours, we will bring you the latest pro wrestling news, in-depth analysis of all your favorite promotions from across the globe, and much, much more. We will also bring you exclusive interviews with the greatest professional wrestling personalities on the local, national, and international levels. If you want to follow the Wrestle Talk Podcast, check us out online at www.wrestletalkpodcast.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. And now, it's time for the reigning, defending, undisputed leader in pro wrestling podcast, the Wrestle Talk Podcast. Good evening, wrestling fans, and welcome to the Wrestle Talk Podcast. For the next 2 hours, we will bring you the latest pro wrestling news, in-depth analysis of all your favorite promotions from across the globe, and much, much more. We will also bring you exclusive interviews with the greatest professional wrestling personalities.
You know what would be great, Sonny Money, if we could hear anything that you're saying.
Yeah,
you want to try that again?
That would help. Just a little
Let's try
bit.
it again. Same energy.
Do
it again, baby. Let's go.
Started off with a botch. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 7 p.m. Central Time. Tuesday night. You know what that means. Listen, I know it's NHL Freeze Frenzy. I know it's NBA opening night, Night Owl. I know we're in the thick of it. Just finished up week 7 of the NFL, finishing up college football. But there's no better place to be right now, especially when it comes to the social media world, than with us here, 7 o'clock Tuesday night. What we do every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock, we go live with the Wrestle Talk Podcast. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrestle Talk Podcast.
Let's hear it in the back, baby. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa? Loyal members of the Wrestle Talk Podcast family, it's your boy, the Night Owl, checking in from the heartland of the good old USA. That's right here in the home of the world champs, the Kansas City Chiefs. And I know this isn't a football podcast, but man, when your team is winning, it certainly feels good. That said, ladies and gents, I got to comment on something before we kind of proceed. Sonny Money, can you talk to us just briefly about that beautiful T-shirt you're currently wearing? Because I absolutely love it.
Yeah, man. Big shout out. Guy here in the Midwest. To me, personally, and this isn't a shade towards anybody else because you know I do nothing but give love and if I call you shit, then I call you shit. But this guy is far from it. Big shout out, former guest of the Wrestle Talk Podcast, Luke Langley, ladies and gentlemen. And this shirt here, he's a goddamn killing machine, as it says on the shirt. And listen, anytime you go to a show and Luke Langley's on the card, it's probably a safe bet. He's probably going to have match of the night, if not close to having match of the night. So big shout out to Luke Langley, man. He's doing his thing all over the Midwest. Does his thing over at Central States. Does his thing down at the KC Pro Wrestling Academy. Big shout out to Luke Langley, man. So yeah, I figured it's a nice only fitting since my Phillies are about to super kick these no good Diamondbacks in Game 7 in the NLCS and take it to the World Series. So yes,
how do you feel now that you know it's going to be the Rangers? Are you feeling good about that if the Phillies make it? Or, I mean, let me wrap this up into another question. Did you think it was going to go 7? Because a lot of people were picking the Phils to win pretty handily, but it's Game 7, so I don't know, bro. How you feeling? Just briefly here.
Yeah, this is the Phillies have been around since the 1800s. All right, let me say that one more time. The Phillies have been around since the 1800s. I believe it's 1883, but I know it's late 1800s. This is the first time in Philadelphia Phillies franchise history that they're going to a Game 7 Like Game 7. So it's either they're wrapping it up before or they're getting wrapped up before. And I've been on both ends of it, all right? So, but yeah, man, last night was a bit of a tough one, but you know how Philly fans are, bro. You know, we'll take it on the chin and we still get back up with blood in our mouth talking shit. And
take it on the chin, full blown pause.
Yeah, right, that's what it is, man. And that's
he takes it on the chin. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Quick anecdote here from our guy, Ref Pinky. Says, I refed Luke Langley versus Colt Kilbane in Hoisington at one time a couple of years ago. Colt doesn't he rides with his dad, I think. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. One of the best matches I've ever had the honor of wrestling, and I've done a lot, and you most certainly have done a lot. Ref Pinky, always glad to have you here on the show, commentating all the way from the snow-capped mountains of Topeka, Kansas, Sunny Money. You got to love our boy, Ref Pinky, for coming in, repping, doing his thing whenever he knows the Wrestle Talk podcast is on live. Real quickly here, I do want to hit the sponsors because we're going to get into the national anthem and everything else that goes along with it. So very briefly, Sonny, if you would give me permission, I'm going to go ahead and hit everybody with all of our wonderful sponsors. First and foremost, Royal Mills Transportation, our guy DeJuan Mills, also the CEO of the FWWC. Rathbun Engraving, home of the Wrestle Talk Podcast mug. Nobleman's Barber Lounge, KC Mo. Kincaid Arcade at the Oak Park Mall in Overland Park, Kansas. Interstate 70 Sports Media. Of course, Little Popeye Designs. You guys know that I've always got both with me. The one and only. The brand new Wrestle Talk Podcast Tumbler. And, of course, the world's premier fantasy wrestling promotion, the FWWC. Like my man Big Hoss would say, WWC. Sonny, looks like we're getting some love here. Got my mug and my tumbler. Love you. Cole Kilbane, AWR. Yes, I remember doing commentary in Spanish for AWR one time. Shout out to those guys. And I think Kilbane was on that card. Speaking of the Chiefs, Sonny, we're getting some Taylor Swift love over here. I mean, I'll take it, bro. People usually hate us because we're always winning. And apparently we always pay off the refs. But long story short, dog, I'd rather be winning than losing, that's for sure. Sonny, can you hear me loud and clear, bud?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, it looks like Sonny's working on his connection. We'll bring him right back up here in just a matter of moments. No worries. You guys know, listen, I'm only going to take a moment to say this. This is a hard thing to do. Podcasting in general, you've got to have great content, awesome guests. You got to be able to create and put together a show that's concise, that makes sense. It's also entertaining. But you add the caveat of live, and it's unpredictable. Your guest could not show up. You could have connection issues. You could have audio issues. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So we're going to give Sonny a couple of seconds to get back in. Yeah, we're going to give him a second to jump back in and kind of rectify his connection. In the meantime, we do have a tradition here on the Wrestle Talk podcast, ladies and gentlemen, and we are going to ask you guys to join us because we would not be able to do this amazing podcast if it wasn't for the greatest country on God's green earth. That's America, damn it. Roseanne, you know what to do. Warm up those vocal cords and give us that national anthem that we all deserve. Oh gosh. Hey, Susie, the worst part's not even here yet. You ready? What's up, Herb? Thanks for being here, boss. Oh, dear goodness. Somebody turn that off, please. Please, enough. Enough already. Oh, my gosh. All right, we got Sonny Money back with us. Sonny, you're back just in time for everyone's favorite moment of the night, which is the Roseanne national anthem. That's everybody's favorite, right?
Yeah, well, definitely my favorite. My favorite part, or my non-favorite part of the night so far is listen, Susie, you know I love you. You know I love you, girl. But I don't need nothing about Swifts and Casey Swifts and this, that, and the other. That's why my connection messed up right here. It wasn't the Wi-Fi.
Well,
It wasn't the rain. It
We're
wasn't the
undefeated
rain.
since she joined.
What's bro?
We're undefeated since she jumped on the bandwagon, bro.
Listen, bro. Stop. All right, stop. I want to hear it. All right. It's NBA open tonight. It's NHL. Every team in the NHL is on the rink tonight. It's Game 7 of the Phillies. I don't want to. I'm tired of it, bro. I'm so tired of it. Listen, I know this isn't the shoot and shout segment, all right? But y'all get me started early here. I'm tired of hearing them. Tired of seeing her, all right? I don't want to hear it no more. CBS, NBC, Fox, ESPN, Telemundo, stop it, all right? Every time the Chiefs game's on and Travis says hike and runs and does a route, you got her up there clapping. I don't need to see it. Stop it. Stop.
If she was doing the other kind of clapping, I'm not so sure that you'd want her to stop.
Well, nah, I'm straight, bro.
Well, hey, guess what, guys? This is a pro wrestling podcast, and that's what you call a shoot, ladies and gentlemen. My man is absolutely sick and tired of the Taylor Swift nonsense. Oh, my God. And you know what? We can maybe even flip this thing and put it into a wrestling context, but we will do that during tonight's edition of the Wrestle Talk podcast High Spot segment. And you know what, bro? We've been talking a lot about what's going on tonight with sports, bro, but there's a reason we're here tonight. And of course, there's a lot going on in the world of professional wrestling, but bro, we have an outstanding guest. Right before we jump into the High Spot segment, can you hype the folks up on why it was that you reached out to everybody's favorite homeboy to join us on the show here tonight? Because I know you and I both are massive fans of this kid.
One of the very first times, and it might have been the actual very first time I seen him, was at a local show here in the Kansas City area. Now, he has not been in the Midwest, particularly the Kansas City area, in at least a good 5 to 6 years. But the first time I seen him have his match at the show. He did a really good job. But what stuck out with our guest tonight on the show, everybody's favorite homeboy, is that after the show was over, he was in the crowd with his wife, with his kids, with his family, and fans would come up to him and be like, hey, good job, boom, 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 boom. And my man was still heel dealing them after the show was over. Like, listen, at this point, the kayfabe is pretty much dead, all right? We know it's a word, boom, 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 boom. We see so many people get on social media, and they thank each other after the match, but they're at the show, and they hate each other. That's all fine and dandy. My man was a straight up he was a heel that night, and he was a straight up dickhead after the show to the fans, but for good reason. You know what I mean? Because he played it up. So from seeing who he is, kind of, and that's not a bad thing, bro, because there's too many people in this world who want a glad hand, a shake hand, or whatever. My man tells you how it is, but ever since then, he's done nothing but improve in the ring, bro. So anybody out there who wants to, and don't jump off of here, do it after the interview tonight, and you're going to want to after we have this interview, go find highlights of tonight's guest. Everybody's favorite homeboy, Kris Brady, all right? Because, listen, when it comes to professional wrestling, he's definitely my favorite homeboy. So I reached out to him. I begged. I pleaded. I PayPal'd. I Cash App'd. I Venmo'd. I was like, bro, I'll even dance to
you take it on the chin, too, like Philly fans?
I said, I'll dance to some Taylor Swift for you real quick, bro. Whatever you need me to do to come on Wrestle Talk podcast tonight, please come on. And after all that begging, he was like, yeah, I got you. I'm going to take care of you. So, tonight, Night Owl.
Well, let me ask you this. So, should we expect a friendly, like, open arms Kris Brady? Because you said, just in the story that you told, he's not always the nicest guy. So what should we expect tonight? Or with Kris Brady, with everybody's favorite homeboy, is it one of those, like, expect the unexpected type situations?
He keeps it real. And too many people saying too many times in life.
You gotta live it.
My man walks the walk, talks the talk. He keeps it real, all right? He keeps it real 100%. So that's what we're going to expect tonight from Kris Brady. You may love it, you may not. And guess what? That's why it's the Wrestle Talk podcast, because we dip in all walks of life when it comes to professional wrestling.
Amen.
It doesn't matter if you're north, south, east, west, short, black, white, tall, whatever. If you like professional wrestling, you're a part of the business, and you're gracing us with your appearance here on Wrestle Talk podcast, like Kris Brady is going to be tonight.
Oh, look at that, bro! He's getting a stamp from the certified legend, bro. Kris Brady's getting a somebody make sure my man tunes into the 16-minute mark of today's show. He may not see this part unless somebody tells him. Somebody tag Kris Brady and send him back to this moment in the show so he knows that it's not just a couple of vatos, a couple of fans, blowing smoke of his ass. When a guy like Mr. Simmons puts a stamp on you, baby, that means doing things in the game. Now, that doesn't mean you've arrived. That doesn't mean you're the best version of yourself, but he sees something in you, and we see it too.
Well, and absolutely we've seen it, bro. And I know we got other things to talk about, and we're gonna have plenty of time to talk about our guests. But it's just kind of like what I said, Renee. From the time that I first laid eyes on Kris Brady, 2015, 2016, to where Kris Brady is at now today in professional wrestling, and where Kris Brady is at today, and even his personal life, because my man had a very similar journey to me. I know he's in the trucking industry, and I know he worked hard to get to that point. I know I always see my man on social media with his family, his kids, but he always keeps it real, bro. So I'm super excited about our guest tonight. Super excited.
And one last comment here from an integral part of the CAC. Everybody knows about SICW. We talk about it here almost on a weekly basis. But, of course, Herb Simmons here knowing, hey, keeping it real and being honest with yourself, with your fans, and with the people that are booking you. I think there's nothing better. Just real quick, an update here for those keeping tabs on NXT. Moana James, Roxanne Perez win, but James got nasty goose egg on her forehead. Kiana. Okay, she meant Kiana. But thank you, Susie. Obviously, myself and the money man over here, huge fans of women wrestling. Hopefully we get a chance to talk about during the High Spot segment. With that said, Sonny, you good if we jump in to episode 456 edition of the Wrestle Talk Podcast High Spot segment? Are you good with that?
Yo, kick that music, bro. Let's get this thing going.
Let's go, baby. Again, for those of you that are tuning in for the very first time, can't tell you how much I appreciate you supporting the Wrestle Talk podcast. Hit that share button, hit that like button, hit that follow button. And we're pretty regularly giving some stuff away. I think the last thing we gave away was a lunchbox, a Mankind lunchbox. So if for no other reason, make sure you continue to tune in the Wrestle Talk podcast, because you could potentially walk away with some awesome free swag. On that note, let's cue up DJ Money and get into tonight's edition of the Wrestle Talk podcast High Spots segment.
Mic check. Yeah. All right. Wrestle Talk podcast. DJ Money. Yeah. Let's go. Welcome to High Spots, where we pop news like player chops. We talk shop, coming through the screens of a laptop, and non-stop like a running speakers of blacktop. We hit hard like chair shots and backdrops, like a spark flash, look like a barely fly. Now that's hard. We up the steam while they stay slow. Wrestle Talk podcast, now they know we about to start the show.
All right, amigos, welcome into tonight's edition of the Wrestle Talk Podcast High Spot segment. In just a matter of moments, myself and Sonny Money, this side, and Sonny Money are going to be discussing the hottest pro wrestling topics of the week. Now, this is your opportunity to join in. I saw Elvia pop up and say, hey, I want to win a free prize. Listen, all you got to do is jump on, talk to us about wrestling. What are you intrigued by? What are you not intrigued by? And shit, if you're a brand new fan and you don't even watch wrestling, like, come on here and have us convince you that maybe you should check out some wrestling, because it changed my life, it changed this guy's life, and it continues to change the life of everybody who loves the sport, Sonny. And when we get into these topics, you're going to understand why. But again, we want to encourage everyone. Oh, wait a minute. What do you got there, Sonny? Hey, my God.
I've done my Wrestle Talk podcast.
Get yours today, guys. But anyway, Any topic you guys want to discuss, we're going to hit the randomizer. We've got topics already lined up, jumbled up. We don't know which one's going to hit, what we're going to end up talking about. But if you got something that you want to talk about, hashtag Let's Talk Wrestling, then just join us, shoot us a DM, drop a comment. We'll send you the link. Pop on, do your thing, kill that thing. It's simple. Very simple, my friend. Okay, on that note, it is time. Cerveza, mucha cerveza, yes, indeed. It is time to get into the first topic of the evening. Sonny, let me cue up that randomizer, Poppy, because it's about to get quite interesting in here, my friend. Let's hit it, boys. Ooh, first topic of the evening. Let's see exactly how this question reads. Sonny, I'm going to go ahead and let you take it first. The topic is, there it is, and I'll read it out loud for you, my friend. How will Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce play in to Survivor Series this year? For those that don't know, Nick Aldis, formerly NWA champion, recently became the general manager of SmackDown, where now Adam Pearce is exclusively assigned to Raw. Sonny, the floor is yours.
When it works, when the wheel well works, you just keep going back to it, all right? When the money keeps coming out of the ATM, why do you walk away, all right? And when it comes to WWE programming, some of the best programming when it comes to wrestling in WWE has always been when there was an authority figure. You go back to the days of Jack Tunney. You go back to Gorilla Monsoon. You go back to Shawn Michaels as commissioner. You go back to Mick Foley as commissioner. You go back to McMahon Helmsley area. You go back to early 2000s when you started having general managers, and you had Eric Bischoff, and you had Stephanie McMahon, and you had Paul Heyman. It works. It brings storylines together, okay? Now, it doesn't work in every single wrestling company, so don't hear this tonight on Wrestle Talk Podcast and go down to your local armory and go, oh, my first show. No, it doesn't work that way, all right? These guys make it work, and it makes sense for WWE. Now, with that being said, we just started seeing the seeds being dropped of maybe a heel Nick Aldis, which I prefer. Nick Aldis did a good job as a babyface, but he does even a better job as a conniving heel. So, it's starting to look that way. He kind of kicked Adam Pearce out of SmackDown. He did kick Adam Pearce out of SmackDown. With that being said, wrap it all in here. What's their roles going to be playing in this Survivor Series? Well, I mean, you think, hey, we're going to have, my guess, we're going to have a War Games match. And we're going to have Raw versus SmackDown. Because that is the money draws right there, all right? Now, what gets me excited about these two in particular, I don't know if WWE will do it. They have not done it yet with Adam Pearce, but maybe, just maybe, we'll even see Pearce and Aldis even mix it up. I don't think it'll happen, but these guys are former professional wrestlers themselves. Unlike previous general managers and Stephanie McMahon, Heyman, Bischoff, those guys are more just on-screen characters, and that's what these current general managers are doing now, but they have a background. They were professional wrestlers first. So for me, as the big fan here, I would get a big pop, even particularly at Survivor Series, if I seen them take off them coats and them button-down shirts and take the belt off the dress pants, and you see Nick Aldis hit a DDT, you see Adam Pearce hit a leg drop, something crazy like that. But yeah, man, it's going to be straight up Raw versus SmackDown, and that was some of the best TV in the early 2000s too. If it isn't broken, don't screw around with it. In the words of the very wise Mr. Herb Simmons, all right? If he said, that's what it is. Big shout out El Diablo, nothing but love, babe. Big shout out on the win this past weekend, too. So, anyways, Renee, Night Owl, general managers work, bro. You know what I mean? And WWE does the best at it. And now, like I said, with these two guys and the heel Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce, bro, that's money, man. That's money. And it's going to be great in Survivor Series. And I think not only in Survivor Series, I think Survivor Series is just the tip of the iceberg. I think from here on out, going into WrestleMania 40 in Philly, them general managers are going to have a role on that show one way or another, and it's going to affect something big in the show. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what? I'm so glad that you said that, Sonny, and you kind of almost alluded a little bit to what I wanted to say, and then Jared former winner also here of the Wrestle Talk podcast. He's walked away with some prizes before. But this comment basically encapsulates kind of what I wanted to say about what I think was going to happen. I think the War Games point is a good point, kind of in the short term, sort of semi-short term. I think the bigger part of it is, Mayo, is that we're finally going to get an opportunity to see the separation of the undisputed WWE Heavyweight Tag Team Championships, which is something that I'm kind of eager for because they're starting to build up some pretty interesting tag teams. I mean, if you look kind of at Alpha Academy and some of the things that they've been through recently and the way that they've been getting built up, super, super entertaining. And then you've got Tez and his partner, under Bobby Lashley now, kind of doing a little bit more of a heel thing, Sonny. So I would love to see them separate the tag team titles and actually give the tag teams on each brand, because both brands have a decent amount of respectable tag teams. The New Day's kind of back in the mix a little bit. So for me, more than anything else, and beyond War Games, I'm 100% with Jared here, man. I would absolutely love to see this happen exclusively. That way we get more tag team action, because personally speaking, you know this about me, Sonny, tag team wrestling is my favorite form of wrestling. Some people like hardcore, some people like those 60-minute Iron Man gimmicks. Everybody's a little bit different, but for me, man, old-fashioned tag team wrestling, man, that's where it's at for your boy. And if they do that and nothing else, I'm going to be a happy camper. That's what's up.
Yeah, but you know what? Here's the thing with WWE, and this relates to the topic at hand here. In WWE, and I don't want to be the basher, and I don't want to be the mark on Yahoo.com and the backstage chats at 2 a.m. bashing them for shit that they don't do. Because listen, they bring in a lot of money. You got your burner account for that, bro. You don't even have to use a real name. Exactly. Kevin Durant over here. The Night Owl at Yahoo.com. Anyway, what? But it's AOL.com. Kind of what you're saying, man. If they're gonna separate the tag teams, to me personally, it should be 2 separate rosters. Because once upon a time in WWE, you had 2 separate rosters, and those rosters did not interact with each other. So when you
let me just add this to your point. Much less developmental. You had a complete separation of the 2 brands, like you said, and you would never see them screwing around with OVW. Now it's all like one thing. It's crazy. Sorry. Dominic Mysterio's, in the main segment of Monday Night Raw with the NXT North American title, bro. You know what I mean? It's wild. So I would like to see them separate. Only for the fact on that is, I'll give you an example. When Edge is on SmackDown for a year and he goes to Raw, that is a big surprise. That is a big pot. Oh, she can't say hi to me? Come on, man. That's my niece. I love you, Gigi. I'm sorry. She does. She does. A lot of great commentary going here tonight. Pretty Deadly. There's another one. Yeah.
Yeah, Pretty Deadly, bro. I keep trying to convince my 6-year-old son Maximus that those are actual guys. All right. He's like, they're girls. I
think they want us to wonder.
I'm like arguing with him constantly. I'm like, bro, they're guys. He's like, they're girls.
Well, between you and me, we haven't even talked about my personal favorite tag team, Imperium. Come on, bro. Kaiser, Vinci, bro, and Guta. That whole little fact, bro. I gotta spit. That night that we were watching the pay-per-view together, bro. I was already on it way back when.
And you hooked me. And there's no shame in my game, bro, because I knew, but I didn't know. But you hooked me, and hey, boy, hook, line, and sinker. Because even my 6-year-old son Maximus loves him.
Gotta love this comment here from our boy Drew, real quick. And I know you saw G's comment there, but real fast here. Brian Pillman Jr. debuting right now. He said Brian Pillman is dead. Long live the king. Another king. Oh my gosh, you're so
yeah, King Lexus, I believe, or Lexus King is what he's going to be now known under. Hey, I'm cool with it, man. I was a big Brian Pillman Sr. fan. I've watched the career of Junior. Nothing has really initially stuck out to me, but now that he's on the WWE cameras and not the AEW cameras, maybe that light's going to shine a little bit brighter for him and do something a little different, a different little name change. But Susie, Gunta!
Yeah, by the way, even when I'm not hosting, if anyone brings up Gunta and they don't say it the right way, bro, I'm automatically like trolling in the comment section.
I'll report
and just so y'all know, I could take over the stream when I'm sitting somewhere doing it. I'm gonna just boot y'all if you don't say right. Put some respect on my man's name, bro.
Yeah.
Put some respect on Gunther. A couple more comments here for you, Sonny. It says, I thought Shannon Moore was a woman back in the day. Thinking back, I don't know why I thought that. He always had his shirt off. So
to piggyback off that comment there, Drew Chandler, are you talking about when he was WCW and doing the boy band gimmick? And because he kind of had the highlight. Or
I got to see Shannon Moore
the Punk. You talking about Punk Shannon Moore, WWE now? Let me know, man. Hit me back on that. But Renee, listen.
I think that's the same. By the way, I think that's the same Shannon Moore. Wait, I think that's the same Shannon Moore that was in Kansas like maybe a year and a half ago, if I'm not mistaken. Did a seminar and all that. So
I think, yeah,
no doubt. Real quick, big ups, Wrestle Talk fam. Yo, the Buffalo Bison Burger is still where it's at. Hoping to make it back to St. Louis one day and be hosted by our man Jeff Wilson. You already know when you come to KC, baby, first class service top to bottom, from getting you to the airport, hanging out, having some beers, man, or whether it's doing work together. Jay Hollywood, man, I know you got a special place in your heart for Jay Hollywood as well, right?
Love that man to death, man. If there's
no doubt.
Yo,
there we go, man. We can just let the comments run the show.
Yo, we could, man. You know what I mean?
We'll let y'all handle it. We'll just drop comments all night.
Absolutely.
We'll just sit back here, look pretty. I think we're pretty deadly, if you ask me. You heard?
Yeah. Maybe two more of these, I'm gonna be pretty deadly. Especially Phillies are down 1-0 right now. The Diamondbacks are up, man, top of the second. So we're gonna see how this game goes on, and hear in the background on how I'm reacting. I might be over here crying a little bit by the time everybody's favorite homeboy Kris Brady comes on in about an hour. So
you're gonna have to man the hell up, bro. You ain't no damn crying. There's no crying in baseball. What the hell's wrong with you, man? Yo, Money in the Night Out doing big things. That's what happens when family's in the building, man.
That's right. Well, listen, man, we talked about Adam Pearce. We already hit the high spots. We're still in the middle of the high spot segment, man.
Go to the next topic?
Yo, hit that randomizer, Night Out. Come on, bro.
Do that thing, baby. Let's go ahead and cue up the randomizer and move on to the next topic. Again, we are still open to having you guys join us. And if you want to revisit a topic that we've already discussed, we can do that as well. Let's go ahead and cue it up. Ooh, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see exactly how the topic reads. Sunny Money, I think this is going to be an interesting one. And I'll tell you what. Why don't you go ahead and read that off for us if you can?
With the recent images of AEW's poor attendance circling, do you think WWE is rubbing it in with their recent increase of pull-away shots showing the crowd? Well, go ahead, Night Owl. I mean, I read it. I'm going to let you start this one because I started the Adam Pearce last topic there. But go ahead, man. I mean, I think this is – I'm interested. And that's a shoot. I'm very interested in what you got to say about this one.
Okay, you know what? And I'll admit, I actually brought this topic to the table. And this is going to feel like a little bit of a shots fired. So, Sonny, hang on to your britches. Some of us still actually go through the painstaking process of watching the entire show. Now, I used to say that with a certain sense of pride, but now I think I'm just dumb. Okay? Straight up. Because for years, Sonny has been saying to me, bro, I don't even got that much time to be watching 3 hours on Monday, 2 hours on Friday. Every once in a while, I can sit down and watch the whole damn thing. But honestly, these days, I'm having a hard time sitting through the entire show. Well, your boy, for some reason or another, and I don't drive for a living. If I was driving, I probably wouldn't be able to do this. But I do watch the show, so I'm able to notice little nuances, Money Mayo, that most people who only watch the highlights or read the dirt sheets.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
That's right. I'm gonna give your facial expression for just a second on that. This guy, yeah, that's right.
Big shout out to my boy Dave Meltzy.
Shut up, man! Shut your damn mouth right here. Anyway, point being, bro, this genuinely stuck out to me. And if y'all think I'm tripping, go back and watch this John Cena segment. Okay, I literally took the picture directly from the show. You can find the highlights on YouTube of this particular segment, and they did it unnecessarily, Sonny. They did it more than I've ever seen them do it. And they did it from like 3 or 4 different angles. And this isn't something because the camera shakes and the angles and the perspectives that WWE gives you are very unique to them. And I think other companies have tried to replicate some of these shots that they do, these pullaways, these close-ups, when they shake the camera during moves. And, you watch it for 20-something years and you start picking up on some of this nuance. Bro, I promise you, Scouts honor. They were doing this shit on purpose because I had not noticed them doing this, Sonny, until the recent images appeared on social media of all the empty AEW arenas, bro. They actually even showed one during an Adam Copeland segment. And even during the Sting retirement segment, they showed the crowd like half empty, bro. And I went back and looked myself because, they're like, well, it's not even the hard camera side. People will use those excuses and stuff like that. But, bro, the attendance was trash, bro. And I think WWE sees it. They're on a hot streak right now. I mean, shit, all their superstars are megastars now, from Bad Bunny to Logan Paul. So I think they are subtly taking that knife and turning it a little bit, because you and I both know, you watch the show every week, even if you're not on here. The common topic here throughout the High Spot segment is AEW's need to always bring up WWE for one reason, whether it's MJF or Tony Khan or somebody is always bringing up WWE, and WWE don't ever bring up AEW, bro, because they're above it. They always act like they're above it. But in this instance, and again, you'll have to go back and watch for yourself if you didn't notice it, but dog, it really feels like they're being petty and doing these pullaways and going, look, our arenas are halfway full, because, they only usually use like half the arena. The stage and shit is on one side. You know how it is if you ever been to a show.
Sure.
But, truly, I picked up on it and I wanted to share. So now maybe you guys will be on the lookout for it, the same way that I was kind of when it stuck out to me. And like I said, I went back, watched from both sides, and I'm like, yo, they are definitely doing this unnecessarily. And in my opinion, and just my humble opinion, to kind of turn the knife a little bit on AEW and their perspective, or the perception that they're struggling from an attendance standpoint. So that's
what this needs right now, bro. You know what would be perfect right now, and I wish we kind of had this and whatever. But you know what would be perfect is that.
No, I think I know. I think I know which one. Is it
the Kevin James? The Kevin James meme.
Not a dime.
Oh, not that one. The Kevin James.
The Kevin James. The Kevin James meme where he's just. And it's just asking, like, yo, WWE, are you really intentionally showing the crowd, my man?
Bro, they're doing it. I don't care what anybody says, bro.
Listen,
really
right now, TNA started in June of 2002, all right? They came out with a completely different product of professional wrestling. And in that time, they didn't any shots at WWE. New Age Outlaws didn't. They came on TNA TV 2 or 3 years after they started. They did that purposely. That was them. But TNA as a company did not poke any shots at WWE. They knew where they stood, all right? And they're still going today. So big shout out to TNA. AEW had to come out shots fired. Chris Jericho had to come out shots fired. Cody Rhodes
all the time.
Cody Rhodes had to get the sledgehammer and break the Triple H chair. All the time. So good. I'm glad WWE is doing it. All right. Now, with that being said, WWE's kind of done that for years, though, bro. If you go back and listen, not maybe as much. They're not doing it as much. They are doing it more now. All right. They're doing it more now. But you go back to any WWE show, they show the sky camera go across the whole arena. All right.
Yeah.
When someone main event or a title match, and especially if they win the title or a big moment happens in the show, they pan that camera out. All right. Yes, they do. Okay.
Yeah.
But AEW, Tony Khan, that man needs to get off. He needs to get off X. He needs to get off Twitter. I'm not talking Murder Inc. Ja Rule X.
You're not talking about ecstasy. My bad.
No, I'm not talking
about the app. Okay, my bad.
Right? Yeah. Well,
I'm from
hey,
the 90s. Oh, my bad.
Right? Yeah, I know. Yo, Molly, whatever. Anyway, my man needs to get off social media and just quit poking the bear and worry about him. Now, with that being said, AEW, when they went to Wembley, them numbers weren't true. And I know that's a fact, all right? When AEW comes to Kansas City and goes to Independence and goes to the arena, them numbers ain't true. When they go to Des Moines, when they go to Canada, when they go to Alabama, when they go to them numbers ain't true. They are not coming out with their true numbers, all right? You know where they would come out and look even better too? And this is shame on AEW. This is shame on Jericho and Young Bucks and all these
Drop
people.
them gems on them, Mayor. I know what you're about to say. Drop the
Stop,
gems on them.
well, I don't know if you know, but stop booking the big ass arenas that you ain't filling. Stop it. Listen, TNA, Impact Wrestling, whatever you want to call it. Go back. This past weekend, Impact ran a smaller venue, but it was jam-packed. Jam-packed. All right?
And they got another one, by the way, since we're going to touch on TNA just briefly, because I didn't think we were going to get a chance to talk about this at all. They also have a show in Glasgow, Scotland, coming up on the 26th, so a couple of days. That one's already sold out as well. So good for them. Because
they, in the words of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, they know their role, and they shut their mouth. They know they ain't number 2. They know they ain't even probably number 3. But they're worried about them. They ain't worried about AEW. TNA's not worried about AEW. TNA's not worried about WWE. TNA ain't worried about New Japan. They're doing their thing, running their own storylines with their own wrestlers, and they're succeeding. All right? So as far as AEW, bro, and these camera shots and all that, at this fucking point, it's petty right now. It's petty, bro.
I'm with you, though. I'm kind of glad they did it. I'm kind of glad they did it to show that they can still little brother without being completely like not. They didn't have to step outside themselves to put them in their place, bro. All it takes is like, oh, look at our shots.
WWE's been king since the 80s, all right? Except for the 83 weeks that Bischoff had him on the ropes in 98, 97, 98 with the ratings, WWE's been king. And there's been a lot of promotions that have came and gone and came back again and left again that have tried to poke the bear of WWE, and it just does not work out for them.
Bro, after this Denver TKO deal, it's a done deal, bro.
It's done, bro. Listen, man.
They're competing.
Done. So stop it.
Now against the top of the top. They're competing against MLB, NFL, NHL, NBA. Though they're so far gone from being a wrestling company at this point, bro. They truly are sports entertainment. Yeah. Because if you're drawing the names that you're drawing, I referenced them earlier, Bad Bunny, Logan Paul. When you're drawing those kind of people to you, bro, it's not about wrestling anymore, man. They're an entertainment company that just happens to dabble in professional wrestling, and I don't think there's any argument. But again, I will say I do believe that there's a little bit of a petty streak still left in them. That may be the remnants of Vince, where they were like, watch this, bam, we're actually sold out when we say we're sold out.
Triple H just had a little sprinkling in Dustin's. He ain't going on Twitter at 30,
he ain't gonna step outside himself for that. He's not.
But he's had a little sprinklings of Dustin's in there. All right.
Okay, a couple comments. You mind if I drop a couple comments before we move on to the next segment? Yep. Okay, so we did have a few. I'm gonna go back a couple of minutes here, maybe even as far back as 10 minutes. I didn't want to interrupt you, bro, because you were on a freaking roll there. So real quick, so Lexus King, Brian Pillman Jr.'s debut ended up with a W tonight. I'm thinking of when he went to WWE and a cruiserweight. I think that was Shannon.
Okay, you talking about Shannon Moore. Yep. Okay.
Shannon Moore then. Yep. He said he reffed that Shannon Moore match that I think I was commentary on.
Yep. He was back here in Kansas a year and a half, 2 years ago, something like that. I remember that.
That's right, baby. Shout out to the KWA for giving us that opportunity. Yes, Jeff is indeed the man, Jay Hollywood, even Mr. Herb Simmons knows that. Thoughts on the Iron Claw trailer, Sonny? Real quick, we are about the people here. This is hashtag Let's Talk Wrestling. Use that thing, man. Share, like, y'all know what to do, man. Let me get your thoughts on the Iron Claw trailer. For those that don't know, this is, I believe, a rehashing of the life of the brothers from Texas. Von Erichs, that's right. Yeah, there was, I believe, 4 of them. Pretty much all of them passed early. I think they've got some nephews or
we still have one brother left. We still have one. Okay, we have one brother left.
And I always diverge to the experts. I'm just giving a little bit of background that I know. And I believe either their nephews or their sons are still actively in the business today. But their story, I think Zac Efron's one of the actors that plays it, so this is going to get a lot of big screen play. What do you think about the trailer, Sonny, and the movie as a whole?
So I knew about the developments of the movie because I'm a mark and I read the dirt sheets. So I knew what was coming. I knew the movie was coming. I didn't know what it was going to be. I didn't know if it was like going to be like straight to DVD. I had to go see my man's on the corner and slide him with the 5 spot and get the DVD off of him. I didn't know if it was going to be a Lifetime movie. I didn't know if it was going to be on
Trading
Paramount
tapes.
Plus. Yeah, I didn't know, man. But see it on the TV Guide. You got to wait to the. But anyways, they thoroughly impressed me with just the cast alone. When it was Zac
Do you
Efron.
want to watch the trailer? Do you want to watch the trailer?
No.
You good?
Everybody's
Okay,
seen it. Everybody's seen it.
Okay,
If you
gotcha.
haven't, you're missing out. Yeah,
Check it out. It's only 2 minutes long, guys. It's
No.
Yeah.
Time is money here at the Russell Talk Podcast, my friend. But listen, thoroughly impressed with just the cast. When the trailer dropped, I literally I was at work because it was in the middle, like the middle of the morning. I literally went and showed it to because I work with a lot of older gentlemen, mid-50s, early 60s guys who know wrestling but don't know wrestling. Like I say wrestling, and they're like, "Oh, Harley Race and Bulldog Bob Brown and Memorial Hall of the 70s and 80s." That's what they know. So as soon as the trailer dropped, I went and was like, watch this. You know what I mean? And I don't do that. I don't push wrestling in the public's face like that. You know what I mean? If you're a wrestling fan, I know you're a wrestling fan. If you're not, hey, I respect it. It's not for everybody, but it's for all of us here tonight at 7 o'clock live Tuesday night. What we do. Thoroughly impressed with it, bro. Listen, Night Owl. I'll be waiting at my front door here for you to come pick me up to take me to B&B movie theater. I'll get the popcorn. If you drive, I'll get the popcorn and the sodas. We're gonna get the
That's worth going to the movies for.
We're gonna get the reclining seats because it's gonna be at the movie theater, bro.
You know what was the last wrestling movie that I went to the theaters for?
The Tooth Fairy starring Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
No, that wasn't a wrestling movie, sir.
It
was a movie featuring a wrestler. No, The Masked Saint. The Masked Saint. Yeah, so yeah. Shout out to Chris Whaley, former guest of the show. Mad love to him and mad love to Big Daddy P as well. But no, it's great to get your insight. Cannot wait for the movie to come out. I imagine because of the world that we live in today, Sonny, with all these docs that are coming out, Dark Side of the Ring or whatever, I imagine that this one is going to be pretty edgy. I think they're going to hit this thing from a couple of different angles, and it's going to be something that's going to make you walk away impressed, obviously, but I think it's going to be very real and very heartfelt. And for those that don't know the story of the Von Erichs, I think it'll be a huge eye-opener because wrestling continues to gain popularity, and I think telling its history is an important part of making sure that it becomes truly kind of a solid form of entertainment instead of just being a fad, right? Like people start to understand the history and all the legends that come with it. People know about Hogan and Flair, and they, Flair goes on all the big radio shows. A lot of people have only heard him by name, but this opens up these doors, and then they get to see stories like this. Yeah, and it could change somebody from a casual fan to a lifelong fan, like the way that we are. I think it's really exciting.
And and with the Von Erichs, I know we got other high spots. I know we got other things.
Yeah,
coming
no
up
rush,
tonight.
no baby, no rush.
But listen, with the Von Erichs, and for the even for the common wrestling fan today, maybe they don't understand the severity of this thing with the Von Erichs. They were the NWO. They were the Bloodline. They were DX. They were at one point. They were the kings of Dallas, Texas. All right, not the Dallas Cowboys, but the Von Erichs. They were the king of Dallas, Texas. All right, they used to walk into the mall and get mobbed like they were rock star, movie star, professional wrestlers, bro. Because this is long before the days of social media and Dave Meltzer and cameras looking at the hard cam and all. Yo, epic. And you know what? You're right, Night Owl. It's a tragedy with what happened with the Von Erichs in their story, but it needs to be told. All right, and I'm glad that they got a good director who, from just by the 2-minute trailer, looks like they're going to touch on the good and the bad, how it should be told. All right, it ain't no sugarcoat thing. Yeah,
real.
It's real.
Speaking of which, by the way, guys, about 30 minutes away from everybody's favorite homeboy, Kris Brady's going to be joining us on the show. He was on with us a couple of years ago. Absolutely incredible guest. Since then, really has spread his wings out on the West Coast, up in the Seattle area, and he's doing us the honor of coming on today. He's had a lot of high-profile matches, has been really, really impactful in several promotions, has even managed to get a couple of championships. And Sonny, I know you're all about the gold. He's managed to get a couple of championships around his waist over the last couple of years. So I'm not going to give everything away because I'm actually anxious for him to come on and share that story with us. But again, guys, absolutely excited to have everybody's favorite homeboy, Kris Brady, joining us here in about 30 minutes. Sonny, are you ready for the next topic?
Yo. I know we've got so many good ones on
we got some good ones tonight. Yeah.
I'm really excited. I really am, bro. I really am. I really, really am. So let's hit it, baby. Hit that randomizer.
Let's go. Let's cue it up, y'all. Let's bring up the next topic for tonight's edition of the Wrestle Talk podcast. High spot segment. Let's go. Oh, this is a good one. Sonny, I get a feeling this is something you wanted to talk about. I'll go ahead and read it off for you, then you can lead us. It says, since her debut, Jade is yet to have a singles match in the company. Has the sizzle for Cargill already fizzled? And I have to say, I love how you wrote that. The sizzle and the fizzled. Very, very well done, sir.
You know, a little wordplay there. You know what I mean?
I like that, man. Bars.
Yeah.
The floor is yours, my friend. Hit it. So,
before I go on this side drink here, because I'm going to go on one, but I actually have a question. Night Owl, and it's a simple yes or no. And I want to hear your point because it's just as important, but it kind of relates to mine too. Do you think that the sizzle of the signing of Jay Cargill is maybe fizzled already, Night Owl?
No.
Okay. So you have it. All right. For me, in my professional wrestling eye, the good one over here, sorry about that. This signing was mentioned on ESPN. Okay. I cannot think of too many professional wrestling signings jumping from company to company that is mentioned on the mainstream platform of those four letters: ESPN, Fox Sports, CBS Sports, so on and so forth. All right. Some people are calling her the second coming of China. Some people are calling her the best female professional wrestler since China. She's got all the hype that I've ever seen for a women's professional wrestler in a very, 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 very long time. So she signs with WWE. The dirt sheet says, oh, man, she's going to NXT. Nah, man, she's coming to the main roster. Nah, man, she's debuting at the pay-per-view. What's her debut? She's getting out of a limo and shaking hands with Triple H? Okay. We can bounce back from that maybe. Monday Night Raw comes along, this pay-per-view, that pay-per-view. And all she's doing is talking on social media. Hashtag me? For the biggest signing for someone who was on ESPN? That's what we're getting? Listen, I get it. She is a star. I watched her in AEW. That wasn't a match that I've ever skipped over with her. I really got intrigued, especially when they were doing the streak with her and she was on that winning streak. I was rooting for that. I was like, yo, go 193-0. Beat everybody. Beat Tony Khan clean in the middle of the ring. All right? But, yo, they didn't book her right. She wasn't on there. Boom. She goes to WWE. And that's how they debut her, bro. Man, that sizzle, it ain't sizzling so hot, bro. It fizzled on me a little bit so far, man. And she can make it up.
Can I read this off for you real quick?
Sure.
It's somebody kind of with an opposite opinion of yours here a little bit. Our guy Jared.
Right, listen, I know there's going to be a lot of opposite opinions of mine tonight, and that's okay. That's okay.
And I don't completely disagree with you, nor do I fully agree with you, but that's okay as well. So I'll go ahead and read it off here. It says, no, they are treating her like the next Charlotte, like royalty, like a superstar. They are making her have face-offs with top women in the business. She will land on Monday Night Raw. This is a prediction from Jared, sounds like. They are not rushing her into the ring. They want people to get familiar with her. And then I'll follow that up with this one. It says, if they had her doing squash matches, you'd be crying about it too. Sonny, is that true? Sonny, let me ask you. Are you that kind of fan?
No, hold on. Put that camera back on me. Put that camera back on me.
Sure.
Put that camera back on me. Ref Pinky, Drew Chandler. I just said it. I was rooting for her on AEW doing squash matches. So why would I cry about her doing squashes in WWE? Explain that one to me. Explain the logic on that one to me, because I just said I was rooting for her on that.
Can I say this? I would be upset if she was on WWE doing squash matches. You know why? Because there's more than one way to skin a cat. And if you are and Sonny, you are as familiar with her as you say you are. You and I both know that as talented as she is not the most polished wrestler in the company by far. So for them to give her maybe a squash match here and there, maybe a few weeks, maybe a month down the road, I'm okay with that. Because you know what I don't want? I don't want her having the David Carr situation. Coming out, getting sacked a bunch of times early, having a bunch of botches, looking like Nia Jax in her early days, and then she loses her confidence. So I'm with everybody on this one. And again, I don't disagree with you. I want them to do whatever it is that feels right to break her in properly, whether that means she's squashing people from day one, or they're just putting her in front of Charlotte and Becky and all the top superstars, like Drew said, and trying to feel if there's like a kinetic energy there. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a healthy exercise.
But then why
hold on. Between you and me, we're going back to the Von Erichs here and then tying it back to Jade Cargill. Like Kerry Von Erich, bro, if you were going to draw a professional wrestler, like if you were a kid and you're like, hey, this is what I want a professional wrestler to look like, that's him, bro. That was him, man. God bless his soul, man. And Jade Cargill's not that different. If you were going to draw a female professional wrestler as a cartoon, bro, it would probably look just like her. So I think at least for now, she's got a mouthpiece for sure, and she's got the look. So I'm okay with, I'm not saying it's the right way, Sonny. I'm not saying it's the wrong way. What I'm saying is I think it's okay for them to bring her along this way, even if it means you and I got to wait a little bit. But do I think the sizzle is gone? Of course, it doesn't feel like it did the day they announced it. We're a month out from that. It doesn't feel the same, but is it still some excitement about what she's going to do? Absolutely. As long as they don't give her the Gabe Stevenson thing where they said, oh, the Olympian, he's going to be with us. It's been 3 freaking years. You're killing me with this already. They did the ESPN thing with him. They did the talk shows with him. They had him on USA Today, all this shit. And then my man hasn't had one stinking match. So I'll just say that.
I got no defense. I got no defense when it comes to that. I got no defense.
Okay.
My boy Drew Chandler there says, I think eventually somehow they should put Heyman with Jay Cargill and somebody, you know what I mean? And Night Owl, I know you said here on Wrestle Talk podcast, maybe putting her with the Street Profits or putting her with somebody who maybe has a mouthpiece. So maybe the spotlight isn't necessarily directly on her, you know what I mean? So it doesn't show some of them flaws. Got to be able to work regardless of how you look, says our boy Jay Hollywood. And exactly right. But, you know, and that's kind of my thing, though. And Night Owl, you were just saying that. That's what I was about to interrupt you with. Listen, if she's not a finished product, then why the fuck are we even making a big deal about her signing? You know what I mean? I mean, I get it. Yeah, hey, it's excited. Whatever.
It's a name.
But shut the fuck up then. Shut up. Like, that's my thing. Go to Orlando. Go to Orlando. Go take your bumps. Go learn how to work a match. And then come see me in 6 months. Come see me in 9 months. You know what I mean? And shut up about it. Because what's the best thing now that we don't get in this day of age when it comes to professional wrestling? Surprises and debuts and returns. Because everybody knows about it, all right? Because marks like me read what Dave Meltzer's writing, and then I come and run my loudmouth on Wrestle Talk podcast. So if she would have came, debuted, said maybe a couple things, and then shut up, because she just keeps talking. And then once you talk,
can I drop a scenario? Can I drop a scenario for you?
Sure.
Okay. Instead of doing it the way that they did it, this was what, about a month ago, right? Maybe a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
So that's about 5 or 6 months from when Royal Rumble happened. So Sonny Money, you got the energy, you got the vibes going tonight. Would you have preferred that they introduce her in a surprise Royal Rumble debut and never say her name once before then? Or do you prefer the way that they're currently handling it, which the announcement through ESPN and all the media publications. Which do you think would have made the most sense?
Come in at number 1 or number 2 with the Rumble and run through everybody and win that Women's Rumble. That would have been on ESPN. All right. That would have been reoccurring on ESPN. That would have been reoccurring on the, oh my God, I forgot about Jade Cargill. We haven't said her name in 6 months. She just popped up in WWE and won the Royal Rumble. Imagine that pop, Night Owl. You know what I mean? Hey,
let me ask you this, hard, bro. That would have been so hard.
Let me ask you this, Night Owl. What has she done memorable so far in the company? And just as far as promos, I know she hasn't worked. I know what has she done that has stood out that from anybody else on the women's roster? What has she done? What has she said?
Okay. All right, listen, I'm the kind of person that believes that you don't need to say much to make a statement. And let me tell you what speaks volumes to me. She did not look outmatched standing next to and looking directly in the eyes of one Charlotte Flair. Okay? To me, Sonny, that holds a lot of water because a lot of superstars, when you just stand them next to Charlotte and you're like, As good as they may be, just the way that she's built, bro, she's a different animal. And Jade is the same, bro, in just a different flavor. I mean, she's got that, like, this lady is something special. She does something important. She's some sort of athlete. She's some sort of champion just by looking at her. And having those two eye to eye, because we had a conversation about, hey, early on during Jade Cargill, like, what's the ceiling for Jade Cargill? I was the first one. I was like, based on her physique alone, if she can get polished enough in the ring, going back to my prior point, I would love to see her one day make it to the E and go nose to nose with Charlotte Flair. And guess what, Sonny? I got to see that 2 weeks ago. She went nose to nose. It was backstage. Wasn't a WrestleMania just yet, nor should it be. To me, that meant something. That meant something to see her go nose to nose with Charlotte and a few others.
I'll give you that, man. But you know what? That's very much credit to Tony Khan. That's very much credit to everybody over there at AEW for building her up as big as she is, just to even get her to the E. Not taking away any talent from Jade Cargill. Not taking any away from her looks or her personality or her mic work or her ring work or anything. But AEW was behind that machine. And one of the big reasons why Jade Cargill looks so good in AEW Night Out is because they showed Jade Cargill and not the crowd.
going back to shots fired, bro. Listen, I want to be oh, bro. Let me tell you something. Hold on just a second. I just got a message. I have to share this with you guys tonight at the end of the show, Sonny. This is news to you as well. I just got word that it's going to be you versus everybody's favorite homeboy in the Wrestle Talk Podcast Game Show Challenge. So, yeah, baby, we're going to have some competition at the end of this thing. And I know you're a hyper-competitive guy, and everybody knows Kris Brady's hyper-competitive.
Bro, and you know what? And it's very much a shame on me. And this is lackluster on my end. This is a botch on my end. But I know I will put paychecks on it in all of 2024. I know so bad. I have more wins in the Wrestle Talk Podcast Game Show Challenges than I have losses, my friend. I may not have those wins. Listen. And I'll be real and honest with everybody live.
You don't have a record book.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest. When it comes to me versus Night Owl and Madden, I'm not it. That's not my guy. That's not my opponent. It's not my guy. Xbox 360, PlayStation 2, all the way up to the PF.
Right. You're also not beating me in Monopoly, checkers, Uno, Tiddlywinks.
I don't know about Uno.
Jacks,
I don't know about Uno. I don't know about Uno. Listen, there was that one time at the bar downtown at like 3 a.m. I got you in tic-tac-toe, bro. You know what I mean? So I don't want to hear that. But
I need the tape or it didn't happen.
Nah, it happened, bro.
What does Tracy Morgan say? Check the game tape. I'm getting somebody pregnant here tonight.
So, Game Show Challenge versus everybody's favorite homeboy. I still hope it is everybody's favorite homeboy after I put the wrecking and decking to him. I'm just saying.
Here tonight. Hey, you know what? Speaking of getting spicy, Sonny, we got to handle business because guess what? it is time for you to have the bright light on your face as you give props to one of the important functions of the Wrestle Talk podcast, all of our wonderful sponsors. Please go ahead.
No, absolutely. Wrestle Talk Podcast would like to thank all of our great sponsors. My boy, the wine mills over there at Royal Mills Transportation. Rathbun Engraving, get your Wrestle Talk Podcast mug, $20. $20. Nobleman's Barber Lounge in Kansas City, Missouri. Kincaid Arcade over at the Oak Park Mall. Interstate 70 Sports Media. Little Popeye Designs, get your Wrestle Talk Podcast tumbler, and my personal favorite, the FWWC, the World's Fantasy Promotion. The best one, the best one in all of social media land, ladies and gentlemen, the FWWC. If you don't know, now you know, all right? Because that's what it is, man.
So I want to keep the passion and the energy going, Sonny. And it's something we haven't done in a little while. We need to get back into the habit of doing it. I think you're the perfect person to kind of reintroduce this segment because I think it's been getting ignored. Ladies and gentlemen, for episode 456, join us in what we affectionately call the Wrestle Talk Podcast Shoot and Shout segment. And in this segment, myself and Sonny Money get 30 to 45 seconds. And we want you to do the same in the comments section to fuss, complain, cry, throw a fit about anything in the world that happens to be pissing you off. And it doesn't even have to be wrestling related if you don't want. But if there is something in wrestling that's ticking you off, then by all means proceed. We're going to play a little music and we'll go ahead and kick off tonight's edition of the Shoot and Shout segment. Sonny Money, are you good with that?
Yo, I can't. Well, come on. Let's go. Shoot and shout, baby. It's
Hit the music, y'all. Let's go.
It's just one of those days when you don't want to wake up. Everything is fun, everybody sucks. You don't really know why, but you want to justify ripping someone's head off. No human contact, and if you interact, your life is on contract. Your best bet's to stay away, motherfucker. It's just one of those days. It's all about the he says, she says bullshit. I think you better quit letting it slip, or you'll be leaving with a fat lip. It's all about the he says, she says bullshit.
All right, Sonny Money.
You better quit.
You know what to do, baby. There's got to be something out there that's pissing you off, makes you ready, want to throw something across the room. Why don't you go ahead and give it to the people, Papa? What do you got?
I'm going to give you a little bit of a story today. Today, I went to go pick up my youngest son, Benjamin. I went to go pick him up from daycare. The spot at his daycare only has a limited number of parking spots. So when I got there, all the parking spots were absolutely full. So I pulled down the road. I U-turned. I came back. I waited patiently for a parking spot to come open. I seen a parking spot just starting to come open. I had my blinker on to go into that parking spot, plain as day. And just as I was going back into that spot, a lady came and cut me off. Now, old Money Mayo would have got out, cussed, screamed, busted her windshield up. The F are you doing? How dare you? Brought out a little bit of the Philly in me. But I'm growing, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be 37 on Sunday. My birthday's coming up. I think I'm growing a little bit, all right? So with that being said, it's not so much a shoot and shout, but it's just kind of advice to everybody out there. The holiday season's coming upon us. Thanksgiving's right around the corner. Before you know it, you're going to blink your eyes. It's going to be Christmas time, New Year's Eve, and we're all going into 2024. Be nice. Be compassionate. Don't think about yourself. Think about the next man or the next woman next to you. Maybe she needed that parking spot more than I did. So I just kind of said, hey, it's just a parking spot and let it roll off my shoulders, all right? And I hope you kind of follow the same advice going into this holiday season because you don't know what the next man or woman is going through next to you. So not so much a shoot or shout, but just a little bit of friendly advice tonight. Be nice, man. Think about the next person next to you there. Appreciate you, J Money. Thank you.
So, Sonny, speaking of this birthday, when exactly is your birthday for the folks here on the Wrestle Talk podcast that don't know?
This Sunday, October 29th, the legend known as Stephen Sonny Mayo, Summers Point, New Jersey, October 29th, 1986. Man, I'll be 37 this year, Night Owl. I can't believe it, bro. We've been doing this for a long time, bro. A long time.
37? Excuse me, one more time. That's crazy, bro. I met you 20
37.
years ago. I met you 20 years ago.
Yeah. I was 17 years old, man. Ain't that something? And now here we are, live on the internet in front of everybody, having a couple beers, talking some pro wrestling, enjoying life and living life, man. Ain't it beautiful?
Okay, I got a shooting shot tonight. And I'm not going to be quite as cordial and as polite as you because I'm speaking from my people right here, Sonny. I'm speaking from my people. Let me say why. Recently, I've gotten a couple of private messages from my amigos asking me if I had been suffering from a problem. I said, no, man, I'm cool. Erectile dysfunction is not an issue that I deal with. And then, whoa, Night Owl, we ain't asking you about that. We're not asking you about that. I said, hey, be specific. No, the question was, is for some reason Facebook deleting your shit from like a year ago and not even telling you what it was and why? And I said, bro, preach to the choir because everybody knows that about 6 months ago, my whole page got hacked, which was the main admin page for our previous Wrestle Talk podcast Facebook page, which had over 3,000 followers. We had to start a brand new page, and I'm very proud to report that we're up already over 300, but we're a long ways from 3,000. So to see something similar, yet not as intense, happen to my friends really pisses me off. And I'm the kind of guy that doesn't get pissed off easy because, as you can see, my sign back here, it says, my sense of humor will hurt your feelings. Guys, it's just jokes. Don't take it personal. Don't take it don't take it personal. Shout out to DJ Premier. I'm going to talk about some hip-hop with Kris Brady, too. That's what I'm really excited about because I know he loves him some hip-hop just like I do. Point being, Facebook, you're full of shit. That's why I'm happy to pay my little $5 to X because guess what? They're not going to delete my shit. They're not going to steal my shit. They're not going to get rid of my shit without telling me nothing. And now you're doing it to my friends too. So, Facebook, thank you very much, you dickheads, for taking people's content, using it for advertising dollars, selling our information to companies, and then at the end of the day, the same shit that you benefited from when we want just a simple answer, hey, why did you take down this post? Or hey, can I get my shit back? Or why did I get hacked? You don't even respond. They don't even have customer service, Sonny. Facebook, the double fingers I just gave you, bro, they basically, when you give them two, they give you like 2,000 back. So F you, Facebook, you're full of shit. I hope every last person makes a transition to some other social media platform that doesn't silence people, that doesn't steal from people, that doesn't sell people's information, because geez freaking Louise, bro, we're the ones that made these guys billionaires, Sonny Money. We made them billionaires, and they don't even have the decency, bro. They don't even have the decency to give you an answer when they take your shit and they delete it, and they have absolutely nothing to say about it when you want to inquire why. For that reason, I'm going to give them the dummy yeah for those long-term LA Knight fans. For those of you guys remember what he was called before he was LA Knight, I'm going to go ahead and hit this for Facebook one time.
Dummy, yeah. Yeah. Dummy, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dummy, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And last thing before we go, because F you, Facebook. Hey, Granny Hulkster. At the
That's my girl.
Bro,
that's my girl.
That little snippet we had with Dude, that was the best. But
everybody go back, check out the Wrestle Talk podcast. We collaborated with our boys over there at the I-70 Hot Tag at the Heartland Championship Wrestling debut show in Leavenworth, Kansas, bro. And Granny Hulkster came through, man. Yo, I wasn't expecting it, bro. She came through with the gloves and hit us one time with it, bro.
She was mad because Chase was like, hey, Grumpy Granny. She's like, excuse me. She was mad that we didn't know who she was. She's like, I got invited here personally by Billy Simmons, and my name is Granny Holster. And, bro, she started going in on Chase, and as soon as she started going in, bro, I was like, what, Granny, what? Yeah.
Yo, Chase wasn't ready, bro. Chase wasn't ready. I love you boys over there at the I-70 Hot Tag. I tell it like it is at the Wrestle Talk podcast.
Yo,
he wasn't ready.
They got a great show, but our shit is a little different. You know what I'm saying? We was
she was something else, man. She was something else.
All right, listen. We have a few moments left. I want to make sure, Sonny, did you get the link over to our guest?
Yeah, I actually did, bro. He actually just hit me in the messenger as you were going through. So I actually need to hit him back. He said to let him know Make sure the green M&Ms were in the backstage area. Make sure the Tupac vinyl was going and all that.
Spring water, right? He said,
Yeah, I think it was spring water. You know what I mean? He's up in the Seattle area now, so he said the fresh fish. Don't come at him with that Long John Silver's BS. All right, fresh fish. So I got to make sure the fresh fish is going.
Wild cod. That wild Alaskan
So
cod.
I'm gonna tell you something here real quick, Night Out. I'm gonna jump off a can. Listen. I'm gonna jump off a can for 2 seconds. I'm gonna let you take over the show for a couple seconds. I'm gonna drop him the message. I'm gonna let him know everything is good because I want to make sure he's coming in here. All right. So go ahead and drop me off a can for a couple seconds here. I'm gonna make sure everything's good with him. All right.
Yeah. All right, guys. You already know, just a couple of minutes away from everybody's favorite homeboy, Kris Brady. And I'm going to take a moment and just give some shout outs here. I know we've been interacting with you guys all night. I do want to let you guys know, though, before I give the shout outs, we are up to 9 likes on Facebook. We've got some more on YouTube. We've got some more on X. But if you're on Facebook by any chance, or really whatever platform you're watching, so man, hit that like button. I'd love to get us to 10 during the live broadcast. And anything above that would just be a cherry on top. Shout out to Jay Hollywood. Shout out to Sis, has been with us all night. Drew Chandler, Ref Pinky. My guy Jared has also been with us the entirety of the show. Herb Simmons, that was here a little bit earlier. Shout out to my man Nightmare Jones, who popped in for a couple of seconds. Chris Rodell as well. Aaron Wallace, and the list goes on and on. Just wanted to take a moment to give all of you guys a shout out for participating and joining us here on the Wrestle Talk podcast. Thank you for the share. Thank you for the like. It really means everything to us. And we are just a matter of moments away from having, oh, hey, Herb's still here. Let's go. I apologize. Didn't mean to underestimate the legend. No doubt about it. I know you're a busy guy, though, so I would understand if you had to go for some reason. But we're glad to have you here through the entirety of the show. You already know. Tip of the cap to you, sir. Also, I heard CAC was crazy this year, and the SICW show, the show that you're hosting in St. Louis next year. I know I wasn't able to attend this year. You know who was? You know who was, Sonny? You were, my man. Made it all the way out to the loop. Give me the 30-second quick synopsis in case.
Aviator Hotel, bro. Yeah. Aviator Hotel. The front desk guy didn't know what was going on. He was like, "Yo, he was trying to deal with a and listen. I drink beer, ain't nothing wrong with it. But my man was having a good time. The WWE Hall of Famer James Bradshaw Layfield, he was giving that front desk guy a little piece of pro wrestling. All right, it was great. But from everything from top to bottom, from the fan fest to the actual pro wrestling show itself that was hosted by Herb Simmons and everyone over there at SICW, to the Hall of Fame inductions beforehand. That whole weekend was spectacular. And guess what, Night Owl?
I got a shout out. Shout out to my man, Drew Abbenhouse. It's back to you. I just had to do it because that's my
No, you're good, man. Big shout out to you, Drew. But listen, Sonny Money Mayo in May of 2024 will be in the house again, St. Louis Aviator Hotel. I'll be there. Listen, my man Jay Hollywood's going to be there. And
bring the bison burgers, you Herbie. Bring the bison burgers.
Listen. I'm big sorry to Mrs. Big Smoke, but I might have to chloroform Night Owl and throw him in the back of the pickup. And
look at me. You ain't moving me nowhere.
I can get you, man. All right, listen, I get a forklift. I got one. I'm gonna get you. You gonna come to St. Louis with me? All right.
I love that.
But yeah,
forklift. That's messed up.
Nah, you know I love you, Night Owl. But listen, in all honesty, for real, man, and I'm being honest here, and it's not just saying it because he's in the comments. I would say this to you in a dark alley in the middle of the night. The SICW promotion does such great things year-round. You really want to have even a more fun time than that, go to the SICW Fan Fest. You get to meet legends of professional wrestling. You get to meet up-and-coming stars.
Anything hosted by Herb, anything Herb is involved with.
Bro, it was such a good time. And that place was packed to the rafters.
Let me just say this too, Sonny, because I think it's going to get missed if I don't do it now. We were talking about everybody's favorite homeboy earlier on in the show, and I know he can hear us from the green room. We were talking about him, and Herb Simmons himself chimed in. And the thing that you said about Kris Brady is that the thing that really gravitates you to him is how real he keeps it. That's what sets him apart from everybody else. And then Herb Simmons, the legend, his response was this.
If he keeps it real, then that's what we need more of, man. And that's what it is.
That's the stamp. If you get the stamp, if you're a guy like everybody's favorite homeboy and guys like Herb Simmons are looking and saying, hey, this guy's got the gusto, he's got the vibes, he's got the energy that we're looking for in this business. Somebody who's been around 50 years, bro. That means something to me. You know what I mean? So I just want to make sure that I brought that back up to the top because I think he deserves to hear that live and in person. So.
No, and he does, man, because Kris Brady keeps it real, and I've seen the growth, and and that was a big reason why I shouted out to him and was like, please, 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 please come on Wrestle Talk Podcast. And I don't do that with many guests. Night Owl, you know how I am. I give them 1 or 2 messages, and I'm like, yo, you interested? Nah, I'm good. All right, man. Hey, man, hope you're a fan of the show. Please like the page. Check us out Tuesday nights live, 7 p.m. Central Time. But with Brady, I was kind of persistent, and it's not that he was saying no, and it's not that he was.
Everybody got shit going on. Bro.
Yeah, everybody got shit going on, man. My man's got a family. He's driving the truck. He's doing big things, bro. And while he's doing all that, he's learning his craft in professional wrestling and striving to get better each and every single day. So I would love to have every single type of guest like that, man. You know what I mean? Like. Brady's it, man, and I'm excited as shit to have everybody's favorite homeboy on.
Are you ready? It's time, baby. It's 8:20. Let's get it done.
Are
y'all ready? Let's do it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna let Sonny do the full-blown intro right after we play my man's intro music because it's about to be on and popping. Because around these streets, we only mess with the real, and when everybody's favorite homeboy is on the block, we got to give love. So, Sonny Money. Let me cue up the music, baby, and you welcome in our guests.
Let that ride. Let that ride. Let that ride.
Undercover on the beat, so twerk it, bitch.
Where the hood at? Had a nigga in the cut where the wood at? All the niggas acting up where the wolves at? You better bust that if you gon' pull that. Where the hood at? Had a nigga in the cut where the wood at? All the niggas acting up where the wolves at? You better bust that if you gon' pull that. Pull that, 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 pull that. Where the fucking hood at?
Like.
Starting off his origins of his professional wrestling career right here in the Midwest, and now holding it down in your local independent pro wrestling show out there in the Pacific Northwest. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege, my honor tonight on episode 458 of the Wrestle Talk podcast to bring back for the second time one of my all-time favorite guests, somebody who I said multiple times tonight does nothing but keep it real. Ladies and gentlemen, not only is it yours, he's mine, he's everybody's favorite homeboy. Welcome back to the Wrestle Talk podcast, Kris Brady.
Hey, what's going on, bro?
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy.
Remix to the theme song.
Yeah, yo, hey, man, listen, you know how we do it. You can't have the copyright, bro. I don't need to get flagged, all right? I don't need to get flagged. So, everybody's favorite homeboy, Kris Brady, man, how are you doing? Welcome to the Wrestle Talk podcast. What's going on, man? How's life? How you doing, man? Everything good?
Everything's good so far, man. We definitely striving for success and getting things done one day at a time. You know what I mean? So.
Yep. No, and I see you, man. I know we don't interact too much, but listen, I see you from afar, man, and you are somebody who inspires me, and you and I are very much a lot alike in that aspect because listen, I got a family, I got 3 boys here. I'm hustling for my wife, I'm hustling for my kids every day. I'm in the freight industry. I've been in the freight industry for 15 years now. I'm a truck driver myself, so I know how it is behind that 18-wheeler. I know how it is hustling. I know how it is on the dock. I know how it is on the forklift. I know them crazy-ass hours and nothing but caffeine and talking shit to people and dumbass people you got to work. I know how it goes, but you took it a step further than I ever did. See, because at once upon a time, a 17-year-old Sonny Money tried to dip his toe into the wrestling ring. And I got about 5 matches in, did a bad match with somebody, fell the wrong way, and was like, listen, man, this ain't for me. This ain't for me. Where I'm at is to be a fan on the other side of the guardrail. And I checked myself. And that's exactly what I did. I stepped on the other side of the guardrail, decided to become a fan and be the loudest, most shit-talking fan probably you'll ever meet in your life. You know what I mean? And so I got to see you 5 or 6 years ago when you were out here in the Midwest. I believe it was for KCXW, Kansas City Extreme Wrestling. And what stuck out to me with you was, and I mentioned this earlier in the podcast tonight, is you had your match, and in the middle of your match, you were talking shit. I believe you were working heel, but you were talking shit, interacting with the fans, and still having a great match. And then even after the match, I believe you were standing with your wife and maybe a kid or two, but you had some people around you. And I remember people coming up to you, even trying to razz you and talk shit at that time. And usually most people are like, oh, hey, man, thanks. Check out the socials, buy a shirt, whatever. You were like, nah, bro, what you mean? Like, I won. Like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? So I love that. That's why I said you keep it real, man. And listen, we're in 2023. We're in social media. Kayfabe's dead. You know what I mean? It really is. You have to go to your show and you have to suspend disbelief and enjoy the wrestling show as a fan to really enjoy pro wrestling and not worry about backstage politics and Twitter and all that. You know what I mean? So you do a great job of that, man. So yeah, let me keep this thing rolling here with you, man. Kind of talk to me about your origins, because that is something legit I don't know. What made you get in the ring? Where'd you start training and all that? And talk to me about the beginnings of everybody's favorite homeboy, Kris Brady.
So, man, it started like everybody else. A kid watching, Monday Night Raw, seeing something you like or something you gravitate towards. Mine was Undertaker, as I'm sure many was. I got older, joined the Army, got out. Figured it wasn't really for me, and we all want to do what we dream of doing. And I found a wrestling school in Vegas called Snake Pit Pro Wrestling. It was Sin Bodie and Jake the Snake. And I figured if I want to, get in the business and do it the right way, I want to get trained by the right people. So I definitely made that move over to Vegas. That way I can at least learn from somebody who's been there and done it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, man. Yo, big shout out to Sin Bodie. That's somebody I follow on social media. That's somebody who I followed, even in his brief WWE career and post WWE. You know what I mean? Big shout out to him. And I know he, not only you, but he's trained a lot of good hands. You know what I mean? So yeah. I mean, starting off in Vegas, and then so how'd you end up out here in Kansas City, bro? Because
I got back into the military after a couple months training in Vegas. And I got stationed in Leavenworth. That's what brought me out to Kansas.
Okay.
And I was a, young worker. I just, like we all are, eager to get in the ring, and we want to, prove what we can do, even though we're not ready for that, that type of stuff.
Sure.
And that's how, y'all saw me. I'm definitely much more, at least better and improved than I was when I was down there. You know what I'm saying? Like, definitely a different attitude, different mindset.
Sure.
Better work or different.
That comes, but you know what? Hey, let me stop you right there. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to. That comes with age, bro. You know what I mean? That comes with age. That comes with family. You know what I mean? You get humbled a little bit. If you're doing it the right way, like I think we are doing it, I think we're doing it the right way.
Right.
You kind of get humbled a little bit by kids, by the wife, by work, by everything.
The humble definitely hit me, man. It hit me during COVID, and I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Enough's enough.
Yep. But listen, let me ask you a question, bro. Is there any way you can hit the clap on and maybe get that light rolling again, bro? Because you're like,
yeah, I know. I'm gonna turn on the car. I just didn't want to interrupt you while you were talking.
No, you're good. Turn on the car. Do what you need to do, bro. We don't keep it like
car's back on right now.
This ain't ABC Dick Clark New Year's Eve, bro. Like, we rough around the edges around here. You know what I mean, there you go. There you go. I just want that. So when people go back, they're making sure that they see the interview of the dude that they're looking at on their social media page.
Exactly.
But yeah, So we seen you
Leave
out.
it off. Leave it off. Chris
Oh,
man.
this guy.
Leave it
Oh,
off.
who brought
You
this
never,
guy back?
you never looked better when that light was off. You heard
Oh,
me?
man, who brought this guy back, man? Who
I'll be
brought
back.
this guy back?
I'll be back.
But no, man. So all right. So you were out here. You were in Leavenworth, which was right down the road from Kansas City. You did it. You weren't here much. You weren't here long, were you, Chris? You weren't here too long, man. I think I seen you a couple shows. But like I said, dude, you stood out. You stood out, Chris. And like that's not blowing smoke. That's not just because you're here at the interview or whatever. I'm an East Coast kid at heart, bro. I've been out in Kansas City about 20 years, but I'm from Philly. All right. I'm used to the abrasive talking shit now. I know you've changed. That's not you so much anymore. But at that show, bro, like I said, so much in the Midwest is glad handing and so much, and that's not to discredit anybody. But fans were coming up to you and they were like, "Yo, good match," and you were like, "Yeah, whatever, get out of here." Like, because you were a heel, and you were like living it up, man, and like that stuck out to me. You know what I mean? I was like, "Yo, that's kind of it's a little mentality right there, a little East Coast mentality or whatever." You know what I mean? So you dipped out of KC, and then what, man? I seen you went out Pacific. You went out Pacific.
So I grew up in Tacoma. You know what I'm saying? So I grew up out here in Washington. But
okay.
I went back to Vegas. I did the same mistakes that I did when I first went there, like we all do. I moved back to Washington because I really had no choice after like 3 months, and I just had to like really like find a school and like figure it out and like humble myself. You know what I'm saying? If I wanted to get on the shows I'm on now, or I want to get to that next level, like a major company or a contract, I really got to figure out what I need to do as a wrestler, as a person. And definitely change my mindset and the aspect on what I'm looking at. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I came back to Washington. I did a few little shows here and there, and then that's when COVID hit, and I was like, all right, enough of the whining about me. Now it's time to like, what am I missing? You know what I'm saying? And I was like, well, I can't be what I was. Like, I got to be something that's real to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I grew the hair out because I was in the Army, and then the DMX started bumping, and then the hood started coming out, you know what I'm saying? And then I started coming back to like who I am. Like, it's me turned up to 10, right? You know what I mean? But like once I did that, once I humbled my attitude and changed my mindset, man, shit just started popping off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And and like you go back to interviews with Stone Cold, you go back to interviews with The Rock, you go back to interviews with all these top guys in the business. That's who they are. Their characters are who they are, just turned up to 10. You know what I mean? And that's who you are, bro. Listen, I'm kind of a hood guy. This is not me 24/7. This won't be me at 5 a.m. tomorrow when I'm on the dock helping supervise tomorrow. I'm gonna be kind of calm a little bit and shit. You know what I mean? But at home with the Phillies game on Wrestle Talk podcast, talking wrestling, having a beer, this is me. This is as real as it gets. So for you in your element, going out to the ring with the DMX bumping and my best friend, the Night Owl over here, and we're interviewing everybody's favorite homeboy, we turn it up. You know what I mean? You don't fake the front and become something you're not. You know what I mean? That's what it is. You don't fake the front, become something you're not. But Night Owl, please jump in, man. I'm glad you're back on. Jump in here, man.
What's good, OG?
Yo, man, Chris, bro. Listen, dog, you and me got some history.
Yes, sir.
All I can say, man, is I never been prouder of a cat that I don't know that well. So I know you well enough to know that you have a passion for this. And you could just tell, listening to Sonny, like how passionate he is about what, and even when you were in the kind of dressing room, right? We got the right water for you. I heard you like spring water, green M&Ms. Hope we got that right for you. But long story short, like half of what carries this show is the love we have. We've got our little script and the stuff that we want to talk about, but what we expect to get across above everything else is just our love for what we do. And even way back when, before you found yourself, because I think you alluded to it, when I saw you, you were raw. You're a generic wrestler number 23. But bro, to not have it figured out yet and to still have the courage to go out there, that's what impressed me the most. Because now that you found everybody's favorite homeboy, I'm sure you go out there with a different energy, a different confidence. You got probably a big smile on your face, whether you're trying to piss people off or make them cheer. You probably always like, I feel good about what I'm doing right now. But you were going out there when I know you weren't feeling good, when you were wearing the singlet, maybe you weren't so comfortable about your physique and all this. Bro, we were doing shows outside. Do you remember the show that we did at that like football field? I think they did that shit for JC Thunder. You know what I'm saying? They threw you in the scramble and all kinds of crazy shit that was going on.
Right.
But like Sonny said, and I'll admit this to you because I've been, going to indie shows for a couple of years now, bro, you stood out to me because you always look at a young guy and you go, when he figures it out, shit's going to be on and popping.
Right.
And I hate to say that I told you so.
Right.
But when you and I would interact with each other, Kris, I'd be like, hey, bro, keep going. Like, just just keep getting it. And to me, the most impressive part of it is Sonny talks about being from Jersey. I'm originally from the South. Like, it's easy for guys like us to not go to the military. It's easy for guys like us to not follow our dreams. It's easy for guys like us to take what we perceive to be shortcuts and not work those 10, 12-hour days on the dock or in the office or whatever it may be. And the three of us have chosen to do it the hard way, right? I don't know if y'all ever seen Bronx Tale. But you know what I'm saying? But like that, like, hey, the sucker ain't the bus driver, bro. In real life, like, the real tough guy is the guy that drives that bus every day, the guy that drives that box truck every day, whatever it may be. And so to me, you're one of those blue collar guys. So when you went from being unsure of yourself to being everybody's favorite homeboy, just know from afar, there was probably nobody happier to see that you found that, dog, because the energy in your promos, in your entrances, in your matches is completely different, but it's still the same dude. You know what I mean? So props to you. Can you speak on that, on the transformation and when that click actually happened? I'm curious.
So we was in the middle of COVID and I grew my hair out. And I was like, man, how am I gonna get on these, the prestiges and the defies and the extra work or the tryouts or all that, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? How do I become noticed? And I sat in the car one day and somebody told me, if you're not the top, if somebody goes, hey, we're going to Seattle, who should we use? If you're not in that list of that top like 10, 15 talent, then you're doing something wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I made it a goal to like be that top guy in this area. You know what I'm saying? So I grew the hair out. I started looking at theme songs and what would match the energy and where the hood at came on. And I was like, oh, this is it. And I started hitting the Dougie, and I'm hitting the dances. And I mean, I do that in my normal life with my kids and, just, being a dad and just having fun and enjoying life. And once I started enjoying life and like really just, like I said earlier, changing my mindset on different things that I was going through, things really started to click for me. You know what I mean? So that's when I started getting the opportunity here. And then I'd go to DOA, and then somebody saw me there. And now I'm on Prestige, and you know what I'm saying? I'm working for the biggest promotion in the Pacific Northwest. You know what I mean? And I've gotten to do WWE extra work.
Just a quick comment here from Herb that we mentioned earlier for you, Kris. It says he took a step to learn what was right for him and his future. That's what others should do. A reality check, looking yourself in the mirror. And then just a fan here. Shout out to El Luchador. He's a constant follower of the Wrestle Talk podcast. Seems to be very happy to see.
That's family right there, bro.
Yeah.
Assad's family right there, bro. So
a lot of stamps tonight for old Kris Brady.
Yeah.
Hey, like I said, bro, sometimes you gotta just take a step back, look in the mirror, and be like, why are these people getting noticed and why am I not?
Right.
And at some point in time, you gotta really look in the mirror and just check yourself and be like, all right, fuck that. I'm not gonna listen to
Sometimes
nobody
it's
anymore.
me.
It's me. Yeah. I can't worry about what they're doing and why they're getting signed and why they're, on these shows and this show and that show when I need to do it. You know what I'm saying? So that's where everybody's favorite homeboy started coming into play. And I started just keeping it simple. I don't have to do 100, big moves to pop the crowd or to have fun. If I do what I know and I do it correctly and I have fun and it shows, that's what's going to give off that vibe where other promotions are going to want to jump on. So I went from being that guy that nobody knew about, where everybody was like, yeah, we'll give him a chance. And then all of a sudden, the crowd started falling in love with me. And you have a whole, bro, I had Roseland. I don't know if you've seen Roseland, but you have 1,000+ people on their feet hitting the Dougie. You know what I mean? Like, I got the crowd popping. And that's just a testament to my hard work and my dedication, and the just realizing that life is beautiful, man. If you just take it one day at a time and you enjoy the process, shit'll just fall into place, bro.
Yep, absolutely. And you put in that hard work, and it's just like you said, man, one day at a time, man. And and to see that transformation, and not to keep harp on that, because I want to talk about a lot of current things in your pro wrestling career, because I know there's a lot of exciting things. But yeah, just to kind of wrap that up in a bow, man, to see that transformation from where you were 5-6 years ago in some gauntlet match at a stadium to now being out here, and I don't care what they say, I know you're a top 10 talent, maybe even top 5 talent in the Pacific Northwest, not just the Tacoma, Seattle area, but Pacific Northwest. I'll say that one more time. The Pacific Northwest, ladies and gentlemen, the whole area. Our guest tonight, everybody's favorite homeboy, Kris Brady. So, talk to me now about the now. Homeboy, talk to me about the now, because I know, listen, dude, I scroll through Facebook. I scroll through Facebook, bro, and I see so much wrestling stuff. Majority of the stuff I enjoy, some stuff I'm like, whatever. And then I see you, somebody who I can kind of relate to, all right? Because, I'm an Italian, Polish, white boy kid or whatever, but I'm listening to more hip hop than my neighbors down the street. You know what I mean? So I see you come out to DMX. I see you hitting the Dougie. I see you with the overalls on. I was like, look at this kid, bro. I remember him in the singlet.
The bandana, bro. The bandana.
Yeah,
that's my favorite shit. That shit goes hard, dog.
I remember him in the singlet. But now for you got a crowd of 200 or 300 people popping, man. So what promotions are you hitting over there? You have a home promotion? Maybe you want to shout out there, or are you just all over?
I've been in everywhere, man. You keep disappearing off the camera. It's throwing me off. I'm in every promotion for the most part. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing stuff with a new promotion called Peak out in Everett, Washington. My trainers, Dave and Chris, they have, and Max, they have a new show that's really gonna pop off, I think, in Everett. I'm doing a lot of stuff with DOA in Portland. A lot of good cats out there. I haven't done Washington Hall yet, but I've done some stuff with Defy. That's fun. I got POW in Eugene, Oregon, and I go to Portland for, like I said, DOA, and I'm doing stuff with Prestige, which Prestige is like, you know what I'm saying, up there. It's definitely a place where I feel like all talent should strive to get to. As are all these promotions. Like, every promotion I work for is a top tier promotion.
Yeah, they're all legit.
They're all legit promotions. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want it to seem like I'm shitting on another promotion when I'm not.
No.
You know what I'm saying? But like, we're all out here striving and killing it. You know what I mean? I'm the current Wrestling with Regret YouTube champion. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Hey, Sonny, can I piggyback off your question and ask everybody's favorite homeboy? So amongst these promotions, man, can you talk to us a little bit about some of your rivals, some of the people that are trying to dethrone the kid? You know what I'm saying? Like the people that are trying to get in your way from doing your thing. Who we talking about?
Right now, I just beat Levi for the Wrestling Regret YouTube champion. I'm getting ready to go at Ziggy Dice.
Ziggy, let's go. That's a big move right there.
I've had a couple run-ins with him, but I just got done beating, Alan Angels. I got done beating Levi and Sonico. I don't know if you guys have heard about all these guys. Like, I just got done beating them. You know what I'm saying? All City Assault Brigade, we're teaming up in Prestige Wrestling. We're trying to go after them titles. We're undefeated right now. You know what I mean? That started at Roseland. Roseland's a big deal. Yeah, bro. We did this crazy gimmick where we came out as I was Rey Mysterio, homie was Conan, and Jaden was Billy Kidman. So we did the whole like little gimmick thing, you know what I'm saying? But it transpired into me and Ethan being the tag team for Prestige. You know what I mean? I performed in the Scenic City Invitational this year, and I was a finalist in the Action Future Showcase. I wrestled for Beyond this year. I've done WWE extra work this year. I've, wrestling open out in Worcester, Massachusetts. I'm all over Portland, all over Washington, Texas Wrestling Cartel down in Corpus Christi. I did that. Man, I'm just having fun, bro. But I mean, they can try to throw me all they want to, but you know what it is, bro. You run up and get done up. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
Try me if you want to.
Talk that shit, boy. That's what I like.
But honestly, bro, I'm just enjoying the hard work. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get to that next level. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get to the Impact or the MLW and AEW and WWE. Like, I'm trying to get there. You know what I'm saying? So, I just started a diet. I know it's yesterday, but I just started a diet yesterday. I'm trying to really just tone my body down and get back in shape. So that way I have that aesthetic, everybody looks at me and goes, oh, he looks good. He can work good, and he got that character. He got that it factor. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely putting in the hard work. But, man, I'm having a blast, dude.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And that's what it's about. Wrestling's supposed to be fun. Right, Night Out? I mean, it's supposed to be fun.
Yes, sir.
It's supposed to be fun. Yeah, I mean, if you're not having a good time in wrestling or being involved in wrestling or going to wrestling shows, you're either thinking wrong or you're doing it wrong. So stop.
That's why it's good to be a Chiefs fan right now. You heard?
And it's cool, bro, because, like, every promotion out here offers something different. You know what I'm saying? So, like, Power Pro Wrestling has the whole YouTube audience, and they do the, you do the promos before the show when the camera's in front of you, and you do your thing for the episodes that are coming up. Prestige is just a hot ass indie show that's killing it, man, killing it. They're bringing in everybody. Alex Shelley's the champion. They got Chris Sabin coming in. They got all these people that are, that are big in this business and people who you want to look up to that are on that show. You got
that's where Darby's from, bro. Is it Darby? You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got DOA killing it on IWTV every month. You know what I mean? You got Everett just about to pop back up after Without a Cause. Now it's peak, but we getting there. You know what I'm saying? So definitely a lot of good promotions coming up, man. And it's fun to be a part of, but you know what I'm saying?
One more quick comment. You want to read that off for us there, Sonny?
Yeah, I got you from the legendary Herb Simmons over there in the Midwest, especially the St. Louis area. SICW been around for decades. I mean, even before any of us were born, and he is still doing his thing, bro. He's still doing his thing as a promoter. For Mr. Herb Simmons, my opinion, if it means anything, this young man has all the ingredients. He just needs one door to open, and he'll enter it and show everyone you can catch that dream. And that's what it is, bro. I mean, and not to keep going back, but just from where you've been to where you're at now, Chris. I mean,
it's a huge difference. You know what I'm saying? I went from wrestling's greatest attraction. Now I'm trapping it, drinking 40s and kicking it with everybody in the ring. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely been a fun transformation.
Yeah. See, that's what the fans are doing. But now you're perfecting your craft, and you found where you found your niche. You found where you need to be, man. So listen, I got
wait. Speaking of the fans want to know what Corey Graves thinks about everybody's favorite homeboy.
Very, very impressive.
Corey Graves,
man,
back to the show.
I'm everybody's favorite homeboy.
Let's go. Even Corey Graves, he thinks you're very, very impressive. Let's go.
So we've been talking about your opponents and people you faced and names and so on and so forth. Has there been an opponent for you that you guys get in the ring and you guys just click? Like, is there that guy out there in the Pacific Northwest or Texas where you dipped your toe or whatever? I mean, has there been a Austin to your Rock? Has there been a Roman to your Cena, Roman to your Lesnar? I mean,
I can say the one individual who every time I turn around, it's either a one-on-one or a gimmick, man, or we're somewhere. It doesn't matter whether it was the Prestige Cascadia Cup first round or at POW in my debut match there or down at, like, it doesn't matter. No matter what, I'm always across from this dude. I think we're going on like number 7 or 8 matches in like 6 months. But like, his name is Jaden, the Unbelievable.
Just Jaden?
Yeah.
Jaden.
Yeah, so he's Jaden the Unbelievable. He
Jaden Unbelievable?
Out here in the Pacific Northwest, and he's doing his thing too, man. He's been killing it. I've had my opportunities to wrestle those names, like my coming out match of like who is Chris, and like at POW, my coming out match at POW was against Funny Bone.
Oh my God, I got to see Funny Bone in Vegas, bro. After the Cauliflower Alley Club, bro. I've never been so entertained. Him and Santana Jackson are two of the funnest people.
I work Santana too.
Let's go. I was gonna bring him up, bro, because I know you worked him too, bro. Hey, by the way, when we were walking out of the club one day when we're having a beer or a coffee together, I'll have to tell y'all that story.
Hell yeah.
Funny Bone helped me like relax in the ring. Then I got to have fun, and I got to do a hardcore death match with Drexel, and I got to wrestle Adam Brooks, who's killing it right now in Australia and all over the place. you know, I get to go out on Roseland in front of my idols and wrestle. I got to do Beyond, which was a dream. I got to do Wrestling Open. I got to like wrestle Allen Angels fresh off of X Division. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in a feud with Zicky Dice. You know what I mean? Like, I'm living my dream. Do I want more? Yes. But I'm enjoying the ride and the process that that's taken to get those opportunities. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'll tell you this, and it goes back to the beginning. Try to tie it all in a pretty bow. Like, the days that you were going out there, bro, where you didn't have all this going for you, those are the days that made you, bro. Like, that football field show or the shows in Tonganoxie, rest in peace, Brandon Gomez. He was booking guys like you and me when I don't think anybody else really would have
messed with us too much, bro.
Yeah, dog. Hey, I got some video of him that I haven't really made public because I don't know how I feel about it, but I might share that with you. We took a ride to Wrestling Revolver. It was myself, Joe Seifkis, Thomas Pacheco, and Brandon Gomez in a van, just like the boys would. We're just a bunch of fans and commentators and ring announcers and guys like that and podcasters. Bro, we went up there and we got to see some of our heroes. Like, Palmer,
I talked to him about a week before he passed away, man. It was just heartbreaking.
Yeah. It's really tragic, bro, because they got a lot of flack for how they were running those shows out there, but I don't think anybody outside of that roster understood what it meant for us to have that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And it might have not been the best run promotion with everything perfect or whatever, but for guys that were just making their way in the business early, you were some kid from the Pacific Northwest that just happened to be stationed in Leavenworth, dog, and it just was match made in heaven, and it was the door that you needed. Like Herb mentioned, all you need is a door. I think you walk through that first door.
You give me the door now, I'm kicking it wide.
No, bro, it's already listen.
Like, it's already open, man. Now it's just on me.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Get it in. You know what
See,
I mean?
I'm the kind of person that believes that it's a door that leads to a door, right?
Yeah.
There's always another level. You know what I'm saying? There's another step to be taken. And before we bring Sonny back on, I just want to say to you, as a family man myself, the fact that you've been able to maintain the balance between chasing your dream and being a provider and a husband, all these things, I admire that part about you as well, dog, because it ain't easy out here for us blue-collar guys, the guys that chose to try to do it the right way, even though we don't always make the best decisions. So, Sonny, let's bring you back on because, man, I couldn't be any happier about this interview. I did have one other big wrestling-related question. So, we've talked about the past. We've talked about the present. So, what does the 5-year plan look like? Let's take injury
from now.
Equation.
Yeah. And maybe not even the 5-year plan and the 5-year plan for Night Owl, but that was actually my next question is what does 2024 look like for everybody's favorite homeboy?
Good question.
I think 2024 is going to be good, bro. I think 2022 was the blueprint of who I am. I think 2023 was me breaking out. And I think 2024 is me like getting in shape, getting that body that I want. Maybe more places like taking notice, more, other opportunities. Even though I'm still going to work here.
Sounds like they want you back in the Midwest from what we see in tonight. I'm just saying.
Bro, they keep, you know what I'm saying? I've already reached out. I've been left on red multiple times. It is what it is. If it happens, it happens. If not, you know what I'm saying? No luck. You know what I mean? I'm not sad about it. I mean, I would love to come out there, but you know what I mean? But yeah, man, I think the next 5 years, I'm hoping I'm signed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I definitely hope I'm like in a company where I can still be able to do what I love, provide for my family, and still do indie. You know what I'm saying? Like normal indie shows, like an Impact or an MLW or an AEW, where you do the tape-ins and you go home, or you know what I'm saying, or you come in on a Wednesday, you do TV, you do what they need you to do, and then you go home. Like as long as I'm on the road doing what I love, but I still can make time for my kids and my wife, which mean everything to me.
So who's the blueprint for that? Who's the blueprint for that? Because I think Sonny's gonna like this. I think you are too. There's a guy out there, and we didn't get a chance to talk about it. I think this is going to be kind of a good deal here. We didn't get a chance to talk about it, but there's somebody out there that kind of gets to live that pro wrestling existence. And this is the guy I'm talking about. We didn't get a chance to talk about it during High Spots, but you know what?
I'm so disappointed. Night Out, I'm so disappointed we didn't get to talk about it.
Wait a minute. But this is our show, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So that means we can like hit that swerve
and
talk about it.
And let's get our guest, everybody's favorite homeboy, Kris Brady, in on it tonight, bro.
Yes.
So we do. Kris, I'm not sure if you're familiar, and if you're not, you're about to be. We do a segment called the High Spots, and we talk about the hottest pro wrestling topics at the moment, or the past, or the present, or whatever we feel like talking about because it's our show. Well, the latest wrestling news rumor has it is Will Ospreay has hired the world famous agent Barry Bloom, somebody who represented Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, multiple WWE wrestlers. He hired this agent, bro. I mean, could we see him WWE bound? Could we see Ospreay in WWE there, Kris?
I'm not big on dirt sheets, but I mean, wherever. He's going to do whatever he has to do for his family. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Whatever fits him is where he's going to end up. If that's AEW, cool. If it's WWE, cool. If it's Impact, great. But, you know, he's relatively still really young. You know what I'm saying? He's the best wrestler in the freaking world.
He's 30 years old, bro. 30 years old.
He's insanely good.
So let me tell you why I brought it to the forefront, and this will bring everything full circle. I guess the reason that I brought him up is he's one of those guys that comes to mind that really has the best of everything. Right. He can kind of work for New Japan for a year if he feels like it. I'm sure AEW would love to sign him full time. Kris, you already know these are the places that you're striving to get to eventually. Who wouldn't want to be signed full time by them? I think he's the kind of guy, and again, you're not into dirt sheets. I really aren't either. But from what I've heard, is he was reluctant to sign a full-time deal with AEW because he didn't want to be restricted. So if it's not Will Ospreay, then who is it that you see as that blueprint? You're like, I like how that person controls their career because they can balance family and work and be there on Wednesday and be gone by Friday, be there all weekend with the family, whatever. So is there a guy, is there a current person in the business, if not Will Ospreay, that you're like, you know what? If I could model my career after one person or maybe two or three mixed into one, who would those be?
That's a tough one because you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know Will personally. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know him personally. I know stories of how wonderful of a human being he is and how, you know, you obviously see how talented he is. If he wants to go work at AEW for 3 months, I'm sure they'll take him for 3 months. You know,
I'm sure they would. Yeah.
He has that option. You know what I'm saying? And he does have a family, but at the same time, like, I don't like if I'm modeling my wrestling career after somebody, cool. But nobody's doing what I'm doing with 5 kids. I have 5 kids, a wife.
That's real.
A shoot job that I work all night. I get off work and go right to school. I get off school, I sleep for 3 hours, go train. Then on top of that, I'm only off on the weekends. I wrestle Friday, Saturday, and then, you know, I'm back at work Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So there are people out there that are doing that. You know what I mean? Like, I see it, but I don't look at them and go, man, I guess I just don't see it from that aspect. I just don't see it like, I don't see Will Ospreay on social media talking about, you know, all his kids and his wife. I don't personally see it. Do I know he does that? Yeah, I'm sure he does all that. You know what I mean? But I just don't focus on it. I'm so busy focused on myself and what I need to do to, you know what I'm saying, make it. Why is my car flickering? What is going on?
Welcome to the Wrestle Podcast.
Yeah,
goes
live, baby. We do it live all the time.
You know what? But hey, you know, and I get it, bro. You got the blinders on. You're not looking to your left. You're not looking to the right. You're looking straight ahead, and you're worried only about.
I appreciate
yourself.
the focus.
But you know what? I can almost answer that for you. Somebody that you guys keep talking about, who is balancing not only their personal life but their wrestling life at the same time. Somebody who's actually from your neck of the woods there, Kris Brady, the one and only American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, bro. Because listen, he's doing the WWE thing, and he did that. Now he's doing the AEW thing, and he's made it very well known to the whole world through social media and on TV.
That's one that I've seen.
Right. You know what I mean? Because
That's
Brian Danielson is like, he's like, listen, I got a plan. You know what I mean? And I'm only wrestling these dates because my kid and my wife come first. I love wrestling, but family comes first. You know what I mean? So
The Miz
like, if
is
we're kind of in that realm right there,
Miz is
that
another one.
yeah, that's a, who's that, Renee? Who'd you say?
No, actually, everybody's favorite homeboy, Kris Brady, said the Miz.
Yeah, Miz too. Yo,
the
Miz too, bro. Yeah.
Guys like the Miz, Brian Danielson, you know, guys that AJ Styles giving up.
Right. Yep. That's another one. That's the biggest one to me. That could be the biggest one right there is AJ Styles, bro. You know what I mean? AJ Styles back in 2002 had a developmental contract with WWE, refused to sign it so his wife could go to school to learn how to become a teacher. You know, like he could, he gave up on his dream. He didn't necessarily give up on his dream because he made TNA what it is today. I don't care what anybody says, but he gave up on going to WWE so he could take care of wifey. You know what I mean? Let me tell you something there, everybody's favorite homeboy. I learned from a very, very, very great co-host and an even better friend and a brother that the wives go over each and every time, bro. Like, listen, I got my dreams, I got my aspirations, but if it ain't for our shorties, if it ain't for our girls, if it ain't for our ladies or our wives, whatever you got in your life, because everybody's got someone, hopefully, they go over. You know what I mean? So I'm glad to see that you're still holding it down for your wife and holding it down for your 5 kids. And yeah, bro. And I'm glad, you know, that's one of the many reasons why I wanted you on here. You know what I mean? Because it's very relatable to not only me and Renee, but a lot of people who are watching Wrestle Talk podcast. This is a blue collar podcast. This ain't talking, you know, New Japan 93 shit. We're talking about current wrestling and mixing a little bit of fucking shit talking and bullshitting on the side there. So, but listen, hey, it's been a great interview. I'm glad I had you on. I don't care about the car lights, off and on. It don't matter to me.
Yep, sounds great. That's what matters.
Because
I had my lights on for 20 minutes. I think
listen. I don't.
I hope my shit starts. I hope my shit starts.
I listen. I don't give a fuck. You know why? Because right now, to me, Renee, I hope you don't. You got any parting words here, my friend? Because
well, man, I could really keep going with this conversation for a lot longer, but I want to respect everybody's time. In terms of the interview itself, absolutely, it's been a wonderful interview, and it's great to see your progression. It's great to see you continue to strive. All we could ask is that you try to stay healthy and keep doing this thing for the right reasons, man. Because I tell you what, even from early on, like I said, your heart was into it probably during the most difficult time where you hadn't really found yourself yet, and now it feels like you're on a roller coaster and you're enjoying the hell out of it. So we're going to be cheerleading you from afar. If you ever want to come through, we're here. We're family. The one thing that I did want to ask you, aside from all that, was since you are a hip hop fan like Sonny and myself, what are you playing on the Apple Music / Spotify? Like, what's getting you through these workouts? What's getting you through these long work days? Like, give us a couple of songs or albums that you're like listening to right now so people know what you're on.
So I wouldn't say like I'm listening to albums or nothing. I just don't like Pandora, but like it's definitely like a mix between like Bum B and Paul Wall, and then it goes down to Tupac and my wife jumped in. I think I killed a battery. My car was brand new. I've had this battery for like maybe a
10
year.
minutes.
And the light has been on for 25 minutes and my car's dead.
Wrestle Talk podcast is about to get sent an invoice from AutoZone.
From
invoice from fucking O'Reilly's.
But a lot of Paul Wall, Bum B, like I take it back. I'm throwing it back to like Drake, Migos. You know what I'm saying? Just it really just depends when I'm throwing on a podcast. You know, listening to how people in this business navigated their way to the top, because that's important for me, because it's important to know that you're not alone in the fact that, like, hey, if you listen to like Lillian Garcia's podcast, you know, she does Legend Glory, and you listen to stuff and you see that all these other workers who are now main event in WrestleMania or on WrestleMania or on Impact or making millions or whatever they're making, you know what I'm saying, just having the time of their life signed. You get to see that, hey, they worked 3 jobs. They had kids to take care of. They almost quit. They're the ones that were living in the car. Like, they had all these
Still did that shit.
And they still did that shit. And that's what I'm doing. I'm still doing this shit. And to know that other people go through what I'm going through, or, maybe more extreme than, what I was going through, like, just to know they made it and they came out on the other side. I know that, hey, maybe I'm not signed right now, and who knows, I may never be signed. But at least I know that if I continue to strive and continue to bust my ass and, put forth the effort, maybe it will happen. You know what I'm saying? So if it happened for them, it could happen for me. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly right.
Talk your shit, Kris Brady. Bro, that's why we brought you on here, man. That's what I'm talking about, bro.
Yep.
That look, forget what you said. The look in your eye, cuz when you say that shit, I mean, it looks like you mean it. There's no question. And that's going all the way back to the beginning. Y'all know I love to do that. It's about how Kris Brady keeps it real, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you,
always.
Loyal member of the Wrestle Talk podcast family, and thank you for an awesome interview. We're not done just yet, but thank you, bro. Can we get a quick golf clap? Yeah, killing that shit, dog. Killing that shit. Okay, now here's where the energy changes. Okay, and I know you're sports, you can stick and move, bob and weave. So before we close out the show, I would actually like for you and my man Sonny Money Mayo to face off in tonight's edition of the Wrestle Talk podcast game show challenge. It's short, it's quick, and it's intense. Are you down?
Why my man's getting up, stretching like he about to do?
Yo, bro. Hey, listen, bro. Hey, man. I don't get in the ring. This is what I pride my shit on. All right. I should have an intro to this shit.
Wait. Hold up. Pause. You say you from Philly, right, my boy?
Yes.
You from Philly, right? You representing South Street, Kensington. You walking on the block.
Northeast Philly, bro. Holla at me, fucking Tacony, Mayfair, fucking Frankfurt Ave. Right? All right, holla at me. I was down in CZW in fucking 2002. I was in CZW in 97. Yo, fucking holla at me at the Frankfurt Market L, bro. All right, I was seeing the fucking zombies out the street as a 9-year-old. All right. Don't get me started on that, bro.
Sonny, you need to relax, okay? Because at the end of the day, we already know what it is with you.
Not a dime. Not a dime.
What's this game show, cuz?
Never drew a dime. Okay, let me go ahead and do my thing and introduce tonight's edition of the Wrestle Talk podcast game show challenge. Allow me, gentlemen.
My phone better not fucking die.
Just hang in there, guys. It's only a few minutes before we're done. Okay.
We're getting there.
Well, welcome to this week's installment of the world-famous Wrestle Talk Podcast Game Show Challenge. Tonight's contest is scheduled to be a best 2 out of 3 falls. Our contestants are representing the Pacific Northwest. You heard me. Everybody's favorite homeboy. Make some noise. Kris Brady. Let's go. And, of course, Wrestle Talk Podcast very own Sonny Money Mayo. Bam. Make noise for him, too, if that's whose corner you're in. In a few moments, I will ask you, gentlemen, 3 particular questions about a professional wrestling topic. Whenever you think you know the answer, simply shout it out. No limit to the amount of times you can respond. The first to gain 2 correct answers out of 3 will be tonight's winner. Do you gentlemen understand the rules?
Yup.
Do you hear the clue? Soon as you know it, just shout it out. First person gets the point. 2 out of 3 falls.
Man,
tonight's contest. Go ahead. Say that again.
You threw me right into the fire, huh?
No. Hey, homie, you got to be quick on your toes. I know you're ready for this. Sonny Money was bragging a little bit earlier about his win-loss record. So we
ain't fucking bragging. I was telling you the truth.
Check the game tape. Check the game tape.
Yeah, we will. We'll go back and check the website.
Can I finish my gimmick, you prick?
Yeah, go ahead, dickhead.
Okay, thank you, asswipe. Tonight, Wrestle Talk Podcast Game Show Challenge category is in the air. In a moment, I will give you information about 3 professional wrestlers who were cruiserweight champions in WCW or the WWE.
Let's go.
When you think you know the answer and who you know who I'm talking about, please shout out your answer. Again, the first person to score 2 out of 3 falls will be tonight's winner. Do you gentlemen understand all of that?
Yeah.
Just nod. Give me a yes. Give me a okay. Nod. And ultimately, If there's like a tie, we will let the members of the Wrestle Talk family decide. So if you're in the comment section watching live, let's see that. Now, Sonny was the one that was the most excited to have you here. He facilitated the interview, obviously, after me. But now he's been pit against you. So I think he's a little like I really like everybody's favorite homeboy, but I
nah.
Let's do it.
I'm glad we got the interview one, bro. But when it's competition,
it's time to fight. All right, here we go. Question number one. Sonny Cool Whip. Let's go. Question number one. This WWE Hall of Famer had the most reigns as WCW and WWE. Rey Mysterio is correct. And I'm hearing that Sonny Money Mayo got it just slightly.
He got me by it. He got me, but
just a little bit. All right.
I thought I had to wait for the question to end.
No.
Wait a minute.
Shout it out anytime, bro.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Come on.
All right, here we go. There may be a bonus question, so hang in there.
Let's get it.
Question number 2. This WWE Hall of Famer had the longest reign for a female with the WCW or WWE Cruiserweight Championship with a reign of 28 days. Here's a hint. She didn't throw this championship in the trash.
Tori Wilson. I don't know.
Tori Wilson is incorrect.
Medusa.
A female held the WWE.
Medusa.
Let me read the question again.
Medusa.
Okay, yes, Medusa is correct. Sonny Money Mayo.
Oh,
well done.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, here we go. All right. Question. Now, Sonny is up 2 counts to 1. So he's officially won. And let's see if he can finish off the sweep. Are you guys ready?
Come on, Brady. You get this last one, Brady.
Hey, actually, as a matter of fact, let's do this. Since I'm the one that ultimately makes the decision. If you can
Yeah, go ahead.
Hang in there. If you get question number 3 correct, we will give you a chance to tie it. Is that fair?
All right, let's see how it goes. Come on.
Okay, question number 3. Just don't get swept. This professional wrestler, this professional wrestler officially held the WCW and WWE Cruiserweight Championship on 6 different occasions under 3 different names.
Shane Helms.
That's incorrect. His father and uncle also held.
Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie Guerrero is incorrect.
Dean Malenko.
That is incorrect. His father and uncle also held the WWE. Chavo Guerrero is correct. Kris Brady is on the board.
Let's go.
Kris Brady, you have an alternate question, so you have a chance at least to leave here with a draw. Very well done, sir. Very close. Very Kobe Bryant of you, sir. Very last second. Here we go. Alternate question. This professional wrestler was the last person to hold the WWE Cruiserweight Championship before it was brought back for the Cruiserweight Classic. He held the championship for
Shane Helms.
Shane Helms is incorrect. He held the championship.
Jamie Noble
is incorrect. He held the championship for 68 days before management said that his connection to Vince McMahon's family and
Hornswoggle.
What did you say, Kris Brady?
Hornswoggle. It was me.
No, I think Kris Brady got it correct.
It was
just before Sonny
Mayo.
Yeah. No, it's not an L. It's a tie.
No, it was a joke, man. Come on.
It's a Hornswoggle is correct. Kris Brady, you have somehow managed to weasel out of tonight with not taking a loss.
Yes, sir. That's how everybody's favorite homeboy gets down. I might not win, but I'm not losing.
Listen.
All right. So, hey, Kris Brady, you hit me with a tie, bro. I know your phone's about to die. It was a great interview. Thank you for coming on Russ Talk Podcast. Before your phone dies, tell everybody where you could find it, where we could find everybody's favorite homeboy on social, bro.
Kris Brady 35 on Instagram, Kris Brady 23 on Twitter, and then click my name somewhere up on this Facebook thing. You can hit my page. Definitely follow me. Follow all the promotions I'm on out here in the Pacific Northwest. We putting on. You know what I'm saying? And that's on everything, partner.
Yup, there you go.
On everything, partner. That's how we do. We're going to get out of here with a little bit of music. Thank you, everybody, for supporting us for episode 456. We're going to keep the interviews going and going and going. Shout out to everybody. Kris Brady, blessings to you and your entire family, man. Stay healthy out there. You heard me?
Sir, I appreciate you, man. Stay up, y'all.
Sonny, close us out.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, episode 458. It's been great from top to bottom and everything in between. We had everybody's favorite homeboy. We talked about Jay Cargill. We hit the high spots. We hit the sponsors. We did everything that we're supposed to do here at Russell Talk Podcast. I'm about to finish out my Phillies game. Renee's about to hit the NBA. But don't forget about the professional wrestling tip, because that's what we're all about here. So come check us out next week, 7 p.m. Tuesday night. 7 p.m. Central Time, Wrestle Talk Podcast, episode 459. Be there or be square, ladies and gentlemen. Simple as that.
Undercover on the beat, so twerk it, bitch.
Where the hood at? Had that nigga in the cut where the wood at? All them niggas acting up where the wolves at? You better bust that if you gon' pull that. Where the hood at? Had that nigga in the cut where the wood at? All them niggas acting up where the wolves at? You better bust that if you gon' pull that. Pull that, 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 pull that. Where the fucking hood at?
Like.
With a nigga like me, D to the M to the X. Last I heard, yeah, niggas was having sex with the same sex. I